obviously he's good at editing, clearly, but like, you know, that's what he did is taking something and
script.
Well, he saw it, and then, you know,
Yeah.
he didn't. He can't predict what we say. He's like, hey, tell me about this, but you know, but he saw a video and he set out and he filmed it before it happened in his head.
That's true.
He made it a reality. Like that was
I knew he was. Remember him talking about it, and then we did it, and I forgot about it. But that's because I forget about almost anything, right? Because I'm old. But then
that's true.
But then when he released it, I was like, oh, wow, that was a great video for C3. I really really dug it. And then I found
what we need to do is
I'm
going to get him this with his permission.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a copy of that because of how short it is and directly informative it is. Mm-hmm. That's one that we should see if Awesome will embed on our webpage for us. Like just as a what C3, and you know, like, I mean, that's something cool to have.
Maybe. I don't know if we can embed it on that. Well, we can see. We
don't know. That's
because right now everything's kind of like on that homepage too. And it becomes like a too much stuff, a scroller thing. But yeah, that's a discussion point for sure.
Not something you put that you have to get past to get to the stuff, but it's something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We have. I did put it on the Facebook page, and I pinned it along with the 757 Hustle Show's video interview with us too.
Has he put his up already?
Yeah, he did. So both of them are pinned to the Facebook page at the top of the Facebook page. So
that's dope.
Yeah, Madam, how was HeroesCon for you?
Oh, it was amazing.
Started up here. Oh, I just realized
it was expensive too.
Hand placement matters. This was down here is up here is
expensive but worth it.
What is that, like the theater faces? You know, the smiling one and the sad
sour lemon face. Oh, the tragedy and
tragedy and comedy.
Yeah. It took me a second to figure out what you're talking about, but yeah, okay, we're going ancient Greek. I like it.
I found out that I was looking forward to it. I was really jealous I didn't go last year, so I made a point to go this year. You know, and I had the best time. I had better than expected time. I was gonna bring like a sketchbook to like work on some of my like.
You thought you were just gonna go sit in the corner and by yourself and sketch?
Yeah.
And go like,
yes,
man,
yes, I did that. Yes,
there's not a single free minute to waste at HeroesCon unless you actively choose to not do something in place of wasting time.
Yes, because I was sitting there and I was like, there was not a minute where I was just like hanging out, like, what am I gonna do? There was none of that.
What am I going to do?
And even when I did have time like that, where I was just me, myself, it was because I chose.
Yeah, you had to designate it.
Yeah, and staying at the Westin, I gotta say, it's convenient as hell. Even though it's a little pricey, it's worth it because
you're paying for that experience and that peace of mind, that leisurely. And like, then I tell everybody, if you don't stay at the Westin, you'll still be at the Westin. So you might as well stay at the Westin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can go out if you're willing to drive in or whatever. You can definitely stay cheaper. But as far as the hotels that are right there within that such short of a jaunt, it's really not that more expensive than the others. Yeah, unfortunately.
And we tell everyone this as far out in advance as possible. You know what I mean? And I like for those that just choose to be like, okay, well, I'll try to do that. You can budget for that. And it's not that big of a difference at that point between other places. If you're that far in advance budgeting for it, you know, it might be $100-$200 more total than staying at another place. But if you plan that out 6 months in advance, that ain't really that big of a deal.
And that's the big one right there, right? JS Brooklyn hit it. It's you got to get the con rate.
Yeah, I got the con rate, and I even got 2 rooms. I reserved 2 rooms because I
Yeah,
was
you guys had your
one reserve,
enjoyment.
and I was like, I can offer this to someone if they at the Westin if they need it, because I told till June 16th to cancel it. So
Yeah.
George
Yeah.
took it at one point, and so
Madam's over here selling her secondary room by the hour to people. It's like, you need a
Roscoe,
room? How many hours
the
can I rent
hour?
you my room?
What the
Yeah.
hell, Mark?
Your name is Madam after all. She's over here selling
Oh.
space for an hour.
You
Running
gotta
a bunch
come to
of
the lobby
stable
and
comic
see what you
whores out of the
what.
Westin.
Just come see my
Now we know
wares.
what next year's gonna be like.
Wow. Morning, everyone.
Madam went there to start her secondary pimping campaign. Oh, you want to sell some comics?
Yeah.
I can rent you some
My Heidi
space.
Flight days are over. I'm sorry.
Oh, you need a place to draw a sketchbook? I can rent you some space. How many hours do you need to draw your sketchbook?
Oh, you want your friend to come with you to pose? Sure, no problem.
But to JSS's point, the group rate is fantastic compared to the regular rate. And I'm going to tell you now, just because of timing, hotel rates are very subjective based on what's going on, events, timing, everything. When we went and set ours, we opted out of the Westin rate, and Pops got a bigger discount using other available applicable discounts and rates than that he went with.
Yeah, there was a
Now
military.
my stepmom's been a employee at Delta for over 25 years, so she gets access to coupons and stuff, different stuff at different times of year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was when she applied, but the active senior citizen discount that Pops loves to take advantage of, because he's now in that gray area where you can do that. Gray area.
I understood what you meant. Yeah.
You got it.
I got it.
I believe he just went with a standard senior discount.
Yeah, you stayed 5 miles from the con, but you were 5 miles from the con.
Roscoe, I think I just let your dad see my Instagram. I think I just
to this point also, he says, I stayed at a hotel 5 miles away from a con, paid almost 50% of everyone else, and that was with Uber to save on parking. So I drive there. Well, DJ and myself, we drive there. We go into the parking deck, we park our car, and we never get in it again until it's time to leave, because that's how everything is located centrally around the con with Westin. Now, it's like $48 a day to valet your car, $35 a day to park your car, or if you're staying at the Westin, it's fucking free. So we don't pay for parking. You just go at checkout and say, I need the parking pass, I'm leaving, and they give you a key card so you don't validate. You just swipe, drive off, and keep the key card. So parking, good. And you just saved 50% for a heartache is what you did.
Yeah. I mean, what's amazing to me is I always love it when we're there and we have new people with us at the Westin, is everybody getting how many people get it's like, you think maybe I see comic book creators differently, but I mean, it's people, oh my God, it's so-and-so. And it's like,
I still to this day,
I saw some people nerding out that way. Like,
oh my
God, it's this old guy.
I get a smirk on my face.
But guess what? They're
him.
all there. They're all at the Westin. And so it's like, I don't even, like, it doesn't even.
Yeah, our last breakfast there, Rob, when I was in there for the second round, I'm going down the line with Dan Jurgen. And I don't sit there and bother him or nothing. It's just cool. It's an atmosphere like that. You're
Day
like,
one, I was sitting next to Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
I don't know how many times. I think I've heard the elevator with Scotty like 3 times over the course of going to Heroes. Steranko is normally very actively out in the lobby and stuff. He wasn't there this year. But
that's why I didn't see him.
First year. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But let's go to the top real quick and say good morning.
I already went through it, but
you went through it. You didn't say hey to people. But
good
morning to Flash Ray Video 298. It took him a long time. He's worked there through the other 297, but he's arrived at 298. Good morning. Of course, good morning to JSS Brooklyn. Dan, hello to you, good sir. Paul Morales, 1976. Good morning to you. Geek Out with Roscoe, my man. Hello, good morning. Wayne Deacon, what's happening? And I think that's who we got in here so far. Yeah. All right, back to you, Rob.
I was just looking at this. I don't know the ARP rate's all that great, to be honest. I mean, I you know what, I didn't look at Marriott.
That's what that might have been the one Pops did.
Because I know when I look at the ARP rates at Hilton properties, anyways, it's no different than the Hilton members property or rate for most part. So I should have looked at the what it was for the ARP at Marriott. But the thing is, for me, I find it's simply the HeroesCon package in the past couple of years had included breakfast, which unfortunately it didn't anymore. Now that they've reconfigured, that's probably the biggest downer. Really, is their, the people that we all hang out with makes the breakfast, and the breakfast isn't bad.
No, it's legit good.
It's just not quite what it was. And that just
there's a lot of it now. There's a lot of it that's quite literally identical to what it was. Like what I mean by that, Rob, is the for example, like the part of the buffet that's on the wall, the grits, the biscuits and gravy, they're literally in the same serving pots that they were in every, what I mean? Like some of it is quite literally the same, but then the island part of the bar with the lids, that was never a thing before. Those were all on fresh pans that are being cooked and put up. They're not out for serving.
You don't have that steam table thing, which makes the waffles and pancakes and French toast
are made
a little bit soggy. The potatoes aren't crisp.
Yeah, they were like cooked and then set up on the. They were cooked and set up on the thing. Now they're cooked and walk out there.
And then because
the people that are reloading the food aren't 3 feet from the food watching when to cook it.
Right. Anymore. So it's a bigger batch, and so it steams and sits longer. And then the thing is also the eggs.
They didn't have the fresh omelet buffet anymore.
No fresh
omelet. A guy standing out there like this, who would you'd walk up to him and you'd be like, "Can I have an omelet, sir?" And you go,
"Exactly."
What would you like on it?
You don't have fresh omelet,
and
the eggs also are the same thing. I find
every
time you go to steam table eggs. You have to kind of like, they're scrambled, but you have to kind of like take the top, because there's always a bit of the, it's like, I don't want to be visiting the bathroom really quick. Let's get the part that's cooked a little bit more and then the rest.
When I called the Westin to make my reservation, I said, can I add breakfast on that? Oh yeah, you can add breakfast on for $10. I'm like, that's fabulous. Yes, do that for me. I got to the Westin. Did they do that? No. I'm like, how much is breakfast? They're like $30 to $40. I'm like, what?
Yeah, $30, and then it's
Rob
like,
got a.
What are you serving? Caviar?
Rob got a club package for his stay that included the breakfast and the lunch shenanigans that you could.
I heard about that too.
It was
right.
It was like, well, what they did is so you had breakfast was $30, and then if you got the club pass, which was $40, it was a breakfast, and then like in the afternoon you could go back there and there were appetizers and finger food and stuff being served during certain hours, and then there was a bar up there. To be honest, I never got it. It was a waste of my money. I never went there because I was always with other people and nobody else had the pass. So it would be like me going there by myself. So although in my mind when I got it, I thought, maybe if my social battery becomes too full, it gives me a place to retreat to somewhat. But unfortunately, again, if I want to retreat by myself, that was what my room was for the most part. So unlike Bo, who says, I never retreat, I never surrender, I'm here fighting the fight for you and together. I don't know what that meant, but
or you and together.
Yeah.
Sound like the end of a kid's cartoon.
I try. I'm a poet and I don't know it. My feet sure show it because they're Longfellows.
I think you know it. I think you know it, sir.
I do want to say big shout out to everybody who was there. I mean, everyone's saying in the chat, obviously Marvin and Freaky and Durs and JSS Brooklyn absolutely was a freaking gem. So nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Look at Mark trying to pet Omni on Bo's head. And Roscoe, of course, freaking always good to see what's left of him. And yeah, guys, thank you guys. It was great seeing everybody. I love that. I love how much joy everyone had in seeing everybody. It's easy for me just to be kind of very, but I get it. I get
melancholy is the word you're looking for, Rob.
Sure, why not? But I get excited. I get excited seeing how excited everyone is.
I agree.
The genuine
I was Lady
enthusiasm.
Fantastic, and she was meeting some of her idols, and I got to videotape her like meeting Chris Claremont, and it was just you got to like it was, and then afterwards you see her glowing, you know, because she just got to meet her idol, and it was so exciting for her. I was just
and I
like walking around getting her stuff.
I love watching some of these panels from folks that or not panels, but some of the videos that people are putting out that have never been before. Seeing those coming there, that reaction after it's all soaked in, going like, holy cow, you know, these guys, you know, it is everything it was. And my God, you can hear them as they're talking about how this is like on their list for the next time for sure. Found the West.
It happens every year, does it not, Rob? Like you never doubted the con, but you had the same experience that first year that I mentioned it. You were down that very first year. You just had scheduling things that you couldn't get over. You're like, I'll definitely hit it next year though. And as soon as you went, you're like, yep, this is on the schedule for every year I can after this. This is everyone has the same experience. Like that's crazy. This is the best kind of. I've never seen so many comments.
I was super excited too because I was coming out of this year. I was going like, okay, I think now I was going to be able to, you know, that my wife would be able to join next year.
Now it's the opposite
because it's because it's kind of a fun thing. Like the number of people bringing their spouses and then they're, you know, so that you get this, whether they all just join in or whether they commiserate about their idiot boyfriends, and
we'll call it the Hens Club,
whatever. Well, that's a different. What? The you know, but then now it's like for me now it turns out like this year, probably this coming year I probably won't be able to make it, but which is gonna be sad for me to not be able to go.
Be sad for us
in 2026.
We're gonna get a cardboard cutout. That's what we'll do.
There you go. Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Unfortunately, get a cardboard cutout of you. You need a picture like this, and we can put you right next to the banner.
Unfortunately, just so anybody that's listening is wondering why is Rob already saying he's not going to be there next year. It's simply that the way that they moved the dates, I was excited at first, and then I got home and I looked at the calendar and I looked at the dates, and it's the second weekend in June, which normally wouldn't be a problem for me, except that my youngest will be a senior next year in college. And the second week, and they're on a quarter system, which gets out the second week of June, which is when, they're going to be graduating. Exactly. And I joked it with my youngest. As
do you know if the graduation is confirmed to be on the weekend? Like
it has been.
All the graduations for the college stuff, especially that has been around here, has been on, like, it's weird. Like I found it weird. It's all been done on weekdays.
You know, it has been. Yeah, June 12th through the 14th. Yeah, JSS. It's really one of those things where it's like it's usually is, and so we'll have to see. But I mean, ultimately, it looks like my expectation is that it just wouldn't be worth going out there for like a Sunday, you know, type thing. So.
Well, there's nothing questionable about that. I'm going to do an entire video on this, Rob. Because
there you go, Louis. I like that. That's a good solution.
This the shopping aspect was questionable. You know, like with conventions, they always have, like, not this one, just this one. Everyone, any of them, pick one. They all have the same aspect to it. Like cons are a dangerous place to try to grab book because prices are always high at cons, and people say Sunday is the best day to grab a book and this and that. That's not true. None of that is true at all. What happens, and people might disagree with me, and that's fine. You're allowed to be wrong. Conventions are filled with people who work for a living as a vendor. So what they do is they spend part of their week at a convention selling their books. As soon as that convention is over, they have to pack up all of that, travel back to their house or toward their next con, like try to chill out for a day or two, and then just travel to the next show, unload it all, and do it all over again. They have a small window of off times. What they do not do is spend every waking hour of their day repricing all of their books. So when you're in a market that fluctuates as fast as comic books do, when you look at price tags on books at cons, those are suggested prices. Whether you just give them the money, the book could be worth more, it could be worth less. They can't reprice everything that fast. That's why if you go in there with that mindset of, I'm going to look for something at a good price, and oh, that's good, I'll pay for it, you're probably just wasting your own time. You have to have like a level of sociability to you. You can't be afraid to talk to people, even on the smallest level, saying, hey, is that the best you can do for that book? Like I've seen so many comments in different chats and stuff like, oh, this guy's prices were insane. Some are, for sure. And some people have more wiggle room than others and more willing to work with you than others. But as a rule of thumb, none of those prices are the actual prices. Like there's so much that goes into con prices and what you can do and get for them. And then there's me, who makes a sport out of just seeing how much I can break these people.
On Sunday, I went by this booth, Jamie Tyndall. What's his name? Jamie
Tyndall?
Yeah. Anyway, I saw this and I was like, this is great. How much is this? He's like, it's $20. I'm like, what's the discount for military? He's like, no. What's the short person discount? No. What's the I tried everything. So I bought it anyway for $20. It's Sunday, and he was like, "Oh, we sold out of this really cool like metal like Poison Ivy one, but we sold out of that one." So I was like, "All right." So I just get this one because I really liked it. I like the way it looks like the Hellfire one, like the magazine. And I'm like, it's so floppy. Do you have something to brace it with on the back? And he's like, yeah. So he gets down and he comes up and he hands it to me and he's like, here you go. I gave you something on the back too, right? And he gave me this, which is what they sold out of. He's like,
that's amazing.
It's amazing how well they sold out of that one, huh?
$30 for the metal one, I guess.
Just call out, Cliff. Tell them you don't feel good and you have to shampoo the toilet.
Cliff.
Prince. You're not going to see a lot of in artwork. Sometimes you're not going to see this,
especially not prints and stuff. They're bottom dollar already.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that had prints at our booth, you don't really make those to make money. You make those to get some stuff out.
Yeah. Thank you for the 3 people. So you get the with the books. That's definitely it. And there can be a wide gamut. Then sometimes, here's the thing, man. Sometimes those prices they're so dynamic that they just change on the fly. I mean, I went there, and on my big book, I had done all my research and stuff ahead of time, and had a range of expected where it should be and everything else. And then when I got there, a week had gone by, and in that week, the market had completely shifted up again, and there were multiple sales that drove the price up higher than I had expected, which fortunately he had already committed to a price below the market price. So I was able to say, well, fine, I'll take your price.
That's always good too. Here, Blue Hellion says con motto, the worst they can say is no. That's a good one. Right. My con motto is aim for the ankles, settle for the knees.
And leave them wondering, what just happened?
Yeah, when Burke on the last day, it took him to the last day to ask me to go haggle for a book for him. I did my normal thing. I was excited that he asked me, because I'm not going to go haggle for any and everybody. I'd be there all day just doing that. But I wanted to hang out with Burke some, and he said he'd been to this vendor a couple of times and tried him on a book a couple of times. He wanted the first appearance of Deathstroke. It was in a 9.6. The guy had it at 240, and he said the guy wouldn't budge, wouldn't come down. The second time around, Steve tried to do a trade up with him, to trade him a slab and throw some cash on. The guy wanted too much cash and wouldn't budge. And I asked Steve, well, what do you want to pay for it? He said, dude, I'd love to pay $200. I said, that's a layup. Let's do this. Look up cover price. Look up the eBay last sale. Take a screenshot of them. Let me see your phone. Because I got to do the little thing where I look at something to really let it set in good. And I'm like, all right, let's go. We walk over there. This dude, he looked about his business. He didn't look carefree at all. Everything was very specific. His price tags were very set. He had matching like embroidered collared shirts with his staff at his booth. I'm like, this
I
doesn't
like
look
it.
good.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like that too.
But
Yeah.
you that's one thing about haggling. You have to be able to read people. You just have, if you're not good at naturally reading people and being social, it doesn't work as good for you. It's just some people are better at it than others. And Pops is trailing us too, which was important in this. We get over there, and I don't go over there and grab the book and do that. I go over there, I'm looking at the guy's booth, I'm sizing up the situation, and Steve goes over and just grabs the book and pulls it out, and he's waiting on me to say something about it, which I'm not doing. I'm just like, oh man, your books look good. On this wall of slabs, the book Steve wants isn't even on the wall. It doesn't even make it to the wall. That's what kind of books he had. You know what I mean? Like this first Deathstroke of 9/6 is not a wall book for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Pops comes up, and I noticed that in this ocean of slabs on this wall, there's an original art page featuring Green Arrow that I'm actually like, damn, that's cool. And the guy's like, yeah, that's who, whatever artist. And Pops walks up and goes, oh yeah, that's Blase Blah. I love this Blue Beetle run. And the guy like lights up like a Christmas tree. And we're just talking to him about this original art score he just made and was able to sell it all over the weekend. And we're talking for a minute. And then finally I pull out the slide. I'm like, all right, we need to talk about this book right here. It's got 240 on it. I said, what's the best you can do? He said, oh, dude, no problem. I'll come down to 200. Didn't even have to haggle with him. And then I go, can you do 180? And ultimately got it for 180. But just like greasing the wheels first made all the difference, you know? Just getting him excited to chit chat about stuff he was into. He was happy to throw a little discount.
So, Bo, what do you want to talk about so we can grease your wheels and get you ready to discount yourself?
That's not going to take much, mate.
Scarlet Spider? Got it. All right. So, Ben Riley, what about that guy?
Mate, I haven't been here for a long time, and you're going to start off with that shit.
I thought you liked Ben Riley.
Well, I do, but I know that you don't. Well, maybe not Ben Riley, but things associated with Ben Riley.
I have nothing wrong with Ben Riley, a singular clone. I have problem with clones, plural.
I'm not going to get into a debate with you right now because I am
Kane
so drunk.
is kind of on my. Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
So So if you're sitting there, the police can come up and give you a breathalyzer and they'd haul you away.
Yeah, well, lucky I'm at home. I don't know how long I'm going to last.
Are you sure you're at home, or are you in your car and you just think you're at home?
Well, judging by my background, I better be at home.
Drove through a library. We were here and watched you do it. It's crazy.
No, you did not.
Mark was calling the local emergency.
Mark?
Yeah.
All right, well, fair enough. So Bo is as exciting as watching.
Look, I said to myself, I haven't been on Legion or Comics for ages, so I'm going to try and stay up and come on tonight. And I was drinking in the meantime, and hours have passed.
Oh my goodness!
Time the show started.
There's two of them.
There you go.
Oh! Look at this.
Tilt it back just a little bit. He's got a little glare on his forehead.
That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's like the cover of a romance novella.
It's a Fabio, right?
Yeah, it's Bo if he was on a cover of a romance novel.
That's right, madam. We were going to get you on the show and talk about.
We still need to do that, and I need to send this to you.
I know. We really dropped the ball with that, haven't we?
Claudia's really going to love it.
I also
The problem is with that once Claudia has that picture, she won't actually need Bo.
Why?
She can just put it on a pillow and be done.
Yeah. Now Bo doesn't argue with me. Look at this.
It's got as much personality as I do.
All she has to do is you get those Build-A-Bear little voice things. We'll just get one of those in there, and it can say something like, I like clones. Clones are the best.
Right.
And it'll be ironic because it'll be a Bo clone.
Where's my barbecue sauce? You owe me. You're the one that put your
I'm
freaking
sorry.
mouth. You're the one that put your
What have
mouth
you done for
on the
me?
line. No, I'm talking now. You're the one that put your mouth on the line, and you,
I put my
sir,
mouth on
said, I will send you barbecue sauce if X, Y, and Z. Now, I don't remember what that X, Y, and Z was, but I do remember that you lost. It was something to do with John Cena, and I won. So where is my sauce? I love you, Rob.
Yeah, dang, where's the
Rob?
sauce, Rob?
Where's the sauce?
I haven't made it yet.
Well,
next week, hold on. Next week is when my wife leaves. I already told you before that it wouldn't be till the 4th of July week when my wife leaves town because
he's Australian. He doesn't understand freedom time.
4th of July is still the 4th of July, no matter where you're at in the world.
Is it though?
It absolutely is. It just doesn't necessarily mean the same thing.
When all I think of is Tom Hanks.
Do y'all blow up the sky once a year where you're at, Bo? Is it the same?
That's a different it means a different thing, but the 4th of July still occurs.
Australia goes from the 3rd straight to the 5th.
Yeah. It's still a date. Everyone has to recognize.
We have a leap year, right, to compensate for our freedom.
That week is the week my wife leaves the house. She travels on a pilgrimage with all her gaming nerds to go game in person, and that's
the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, exactly.
Pilgrimage.
So that's what as a character from the comic Redcoat.
It's important because when I make this sauce, it turns the house into a biohazard.
I just pictured Rob dressed up in his breaking bad outfit.
I have to get protective gear on and stand underneath the hood.
Do you have a double respirator mask?
No.
Heisenberg.
The N95 mask works fine. And then along
with is the sauce blue?
You gotta stand underneath the range hood with it on high and stuff like that. But
have a separate oxygen tank. With
try not to aerate anything. So yeah, it'll be next week or next week when she's gone. I'll be making my batches of that stuff.
Batches of stuff. So what are you using there? Do you use ghost peppers, reaper pepper?
There's no ghost peppers. That's too weak.
Okay, tell me. Tell me the secret.
Rob's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, wait.
Just Carolina Reaper or Pepper
Carolina Reaper and Scorpion Pepper.
Nice.
Are scorpions rated over ghost peppers?
Yes.
Okay. Have you gotten a hold of any of the Pepper X stuff yet? You played with that?
I've had extract and stuff before where I had to sign waivers for that shit.
Oh man.
Well, Pepper X, I think it was last year. They I don't want to say created, but they just crossbred till they got it. It's like the hottest one now.
Well, I like to primarily use the Carolina Reaper mash because
it's got good flavor.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Don't they use like ghost peppers to ward off elephants? Like it's that strong.
I don't know.
Not even those. You can use weaker peppers even to.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with ghost pepper has. It hits you a little bit quicker. Some of these have a slower buildup. Yeah, it's a chemical flavor, and it doesn't. Part of what I do into it isn't just trying to make the most ridiculous heat sauce in the planet. It's about actually creating something that's hot that you want to eat. It tastes good and you want to eat it, but at the same time, your face is melting and you're saying "fuck you, Rob" as you go back for more.
Yeah, I think the answer to that is butter, right? Yes. I think just add butter.
No. It's a delicate act because the answer is sugar.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is sugar counteracts the heat.
Which is fine. You can find your own little
it's finding that balancing act. Because it's a brown sugar bourbon based barbecue sauce with a crap ton of heat added to it. So
that was the sexiest
brown sugar bourbon barbecue sauce. That sounds delightful.
My Claudia is just dying for more.
I'll take a job. Extract. I used to, when we had poker at poker games and stuff, I used to have a bottle of tequila and I'd put habaneros sliced and a couple jalapenos in the jar, and whoever was first out of the poker game would have to take a shot of this concoction.
Rob, you know about the Jamaican Scotch bonnet? I'm unfamiliar.
Huh?
No, I have not necessarily played with those.
Scotch
Well, good
bonnets.
morning to the virus Cyrus.
Those are like
Silas,
habaneros. Yeah.
I enjoy spicy food. I don't like, and there is this like, and it's it's obviously different for everybody, but there's this really sweet spot where it's like that magical place between you're just testing yourself to see if you can actually eat something without having to tap out and enjoying the flavor and liking spicy. And when spicy food isn't actually spicy to you, it's just a flavor. You're just like, you like it to have that little sting to it, but not to where it's like competitive food challenge.
This is
a light sweat. A light sweat is fun.
well.
Yeah,
Then this
like
is
legit, it'll do that. But like
light
that's
sweat.
that's
This is not the sauce for you. Then the thing is it has a slow ramp up. So we talk about it, and it's so hilarious because everybody that hears it, we talk about the sauce, and they go okay, and they expect it to be like kill them right out of the gate, and it doesn't. And they go, "Oh, I thought this was hot. I mean, it's got some spice, but it's good." And then
you don't want that. You don't want it to kill straight away.
Then they start going for more.
Yeah.
And it has a build. It has a build that comes, and it starts to really at about the 50-second mark. That's where you really start. All of a sudden, your lips start to go a little bit on the numb side and stuff, and you start to go, And then next thing you know, it just starts spreading more across your face, and it's too late. You've gone, oh shit, what have I done? And it'll slowly start to hurt a little bit. And the problem is the only thing that makes it feel better is eating more. Well, you're eating more, you think, oh, it's okay. But the more you eat, the more it spreads. And it sounds like
sex life. Don't you have milk and bread handy when you have this?
So bread doesn't do squat. It's sugar. When you drink milk, it's the sugars in the milk that help it. Whether you do cream, sugar counteracts the capsaicin. So when you go to actually really high-end hot sauce competition things, they usually use things like they'll either use whipped cream or they're using actually sugar packets or stuff like that they'll use to actually counteract the heat.
Holy shit. Yeah.
That's kind of how the atomic sauce at Wingstop is. You eat the first one and you get all flavor, but by the time you get to the second, third wing, you start getting the heat, and it's one that lasts. Like even after you're done with the wings, if you start eating your fries or switch over to other, you're still just feeling the heat grow and grow. But it's only like around 300,000 Scovilles. It's not way up there, but it's got a great flavor that lasts.
Key thing: wash your hands.
What the hell are you talking about?
Or lick your fingers.
Oh, we were talking about Rob's special brown sugar bourbon barbecue sauce.
They were talking about my sauce,
which is all sexual innuendos.
Yeah,
Rob's sauce.
With Bo, it's only sexual innuendos.
The spice really hits when it is.
Eman was talking about how excited he was about your meats, that you're going to have that soon.
I know, Bo. Well, let me tell you
Rob's
something.
meats is the talk of the town. I'm thinking
when people see my meat, they get excited, but when they put it in their mouth, they want more.
It just dissolves.
That's right. That's right. It's the first thing that we've choked on that we don't mind.
It's tasty. No, Eman, he gets really excited about it, and he's also he was like, and you are like, so when I met Rob, he is very chill. Like what you see here, it's nothing like. When he gets excited, it's like a little smile and maybe a hug or whatever.
Kind of like an anime character, only his shoulders move.
Yeah, he's not. But like, E-Man was like, dude, he's like, it's so good to have Rob as my roommate. He just like centers me. Everything's just like so chill when I get in there. So
it's like zen. It's like a zen cave for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up,
holy shit.
I demand order out of chaos. That's why.
Isn't there like an Aussie limit? We can only have so many Aussies on it.
No, you're allowed to have up to 50% Aussies, but never more.
Okay.
Even Aussie channels, you almost never see more than 50%.
For a minute.
Yeah.
What
get
is
them next
what
to
is
each other.
XP, Rob? What is this? Sledge says so with XP it uses your account and not
Wrong side.
Oh,
what is this? What is XP?
I think he's either trying to give me a wedgie or a noogie, or he's trying to hug me. I don't know.
I'm not sure
it
what
was way
Trying to
more
hug you.
sexual than that. It was
Smother
way
you.
more sexual than that.
Matt Spidey's awake? Shit.
I actually just woke up and went, oh shit, okay. Yeah, I'll jump on for a couple of
I
minutes.
appreciate you, homie. It's good seeing you. How are you?
I miss
How's
you too,
Tricks?
brother.
What time is it in Australia, you crazy kids?
Yeah.
I can't even see the screen.
It's 10 past 10 p.m.
Oh,
Oh.
but it's
Okay.
Friday night or Saturday.
Friday night.
All
Friday, I
right.
think. Yeah.
I think it's okay if you stay up a little.
You were
It's
getting
all
your
right.
you're
It's
getting
all
your pre-evening nap on so you can be awake for a little bit before you go back to bed for a few hours before you wake up for Only Slabs.
No, that's still another full 24 hours again.
Oh yeah.
You never know.
Michael.
Mm.
Damn. It was tough. It was, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Today, like in yesterday, it's hard going back to work. It was hard. Being
Oh.
serious.
If he's complaining too, he doesn't want to go back to work. He was
Yeah, well, I've had. I think on Tuesday, I was off. I had taken Tuesday off, and I logged in to look through my emails, and it was like 6 hours going through my emails, trying to get caught up on some stuff. And then after that, it was back. It's been back to back to back hell days. I was actually
That's
surprised my
annoying.
email this morning's as quiet as it is because there's only 2 business days left before end of quarter. So
Well, I mean, you probably ground it out. Like when I got in yesterday, like yesterday is my first day back, and I basically was just like told all this bad shit, and they're like, "Welcome back." It's like, thank you.
That sounds like every.
And then,
Thursday.
didn't they tell you they can see your vacation glow like fading from your face? Like
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we can see your vacation glow, like leaving your face." And I'm like,
How was
"Thanks,
your
bitches."
vacation? Yeah, that's really nice. We just want you to know that you have to do all of this, and this person's sick. And
Yeah,
this
they're
has
just
to
like,
be
we
done."
just want you to know that we're gonna have to create a list of people in your lab that we need to fire soon. So welcome back. And it's like, okay, you dick suckers.
There he is.
What's up, baby?
Hey, what's Izzy?
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
what's
out.
up,
I'm
guys?
out.
Fucking hell.
I saw Izzy in person and gave him a hug.
Izzy's a good hugger.
I am.
Is he
I'm,
good?
I'm fluffy.
You're a good,
No,
you're a good hugger. And
That's Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, pretty much.
ladies and gentlemen, holy cow.
The actual goat is here. Chip Getler, good morning.
I miss you, Chip. We all miss you. I know. You know.
Remy
We know that
Remy
you know
covered
that
that
we
on-
know. But we
It
miss
made-
you.
Chip's lack of being at the con was on Remy's list of the negatives.
Oh,
Yeah, I did. We did. We actually watched. We love doing that. If I'm off on Saturday and I'm here at Beck's house, catch up on Remy replay is always fun. So,
Mhm.
especially when we send him a package and watch him eat chocolates from Australia, that's always the fun ones.
It gets
Oh, I
really
had a-
excited.
I had one last night. Was actually chocolate that my team in Romania sent me a box of different Romanian chocolates.
Oh, nice.
This one was had a coffee cream filling, so it's coffee
Ooh.
flavored.
smells like Kahlua.
Yeah, kind of inside of a 50% cocoa chocolate.
There is
You had a lot of milk with
coffee. There is coffee flavored Tim Tams at the moment.
No
What are
shit.
those?
They are really nice. Like, not Beck's thing, but they are really, really nice.
What are they
Have you
called
ever
again?
tried to drinking a
Tams.
cup of coffee instead?
Tam Tams?
Tim
Tim
Tams.
Tim
I've
Tim
never heard of
Tams.
those.
TIM. Tim Tam.
Sometimes.
What are they?
Flavored.
Actually, it might be
They are
latte flavored, but they taste like it's got a coffee flavor to it.
Don't they got them in England too?
Yeah, they're the dodgy ones.
Oh, the dodgy Tim Tams are original.
Dodgy Caroline, be careful.
Fuck me, I've been eating some dog
Okay,
shit.
I can get them here.
Oh yes. Yeah. No. Then I really.
Oh
I really
no,
like-
currently unavailable.
Miss
It just shows up, but I can't actually get it. The bastards.
Simon, let's send him some.
I think. Yeah. I think. I know Beck's watching on the TV, or she was. That's how I knew the show was on. And I woke up. Beck, we're going to send Rob some coffee Tim Tams.
I love coffee, obviously.
My baby.
As I drink my cup.
Mm.
Okay, so I've seen everybody in this room except for the 2 Australians. So
She
when
just
you
heard
guys
it. Here
coming
she
over?
comes.
I
That's
love
Spidey.
that. You know, just like, have you ever had coffee nips? Those are like
Simon.
they're like old people candies, like Werther's Originals and coffee nips. I love coffee
Oh.
nips; are my favorite.
No,
And then later on,
he's-
now recently, I have coffee
I'm kidding a
flavored
little bit.
Werther's. So like,
Man.
sorry.
because he can get the Australian Tim Tams over there. So
He's saying you suck on something
except for
called
those.
Coffee nips. Yep,
how's
sorry.
that Venom piece, Omni?
Eat a dick.
Oh, hang on, Bo. Are you gonna collect fest? Are you gonna
Worst
collect
$70 I ever spent. I may as well have just called it the Mad Spidey gift.
Oh, thanks. So, I'll happily have an Izzy original in my collection, even if I don't like sketch covers, I'll keep it if you want.
How
I'm
could you
working.
not
I'm
like
working
that
on a
sketch
commission
cover?
right now. Look at the size of this thing.
That's what they
Holy
all say.
moly.
That's
Is it
that's
Ben
a-
Riley?
That's like a
That's a
17 by 11 or something.
that's a
Yeah.
12 by
What are
8.
the, what's the
What you got
aspect
on there?
ratio on that, Izzy?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Was it Captain America? Was that what I saw?
No, it's not Cap.
That was a Hulk.
not
Um,
Is that what
Yes,
it was?
Spidey, I think it's about time I paid
maybe
the postage.
Juggy.
No,
I think it's
no, that's the
11.
whole.
No,
Not
are
yet.
It's a thick
Are you
boy.
gonna collect fest next weekend, Bo?
14 by 17.
Where's Collect Fest?
At Jeff Shed.
I'm checking my calendar. And
I'm sure that can be arranged, Raider.
Raider, yeah. I think that's an
Yeah.
on-air opportunity
Well,
right there.
We'll be going on Saturday.
This.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do Bo another piece, but I'm gonna send it to Simon and see how long that piece will take for it to arrive.
I'm just wondering what horrible world did you drink coffee from that you don't like it? My God.
Oh, I know how that happens.
Coffee's very versatile.
Your father or your mother will make coffee early in the morning when you're a child, and you'll
And then
smell
just
it.
pour it on
And
you.
you will be like, "Oh, what's that smell? That sounds awful. It's so bitter and terrible." But then you end up
that
drinking
was
it
true.
because
I hate
you
wine.
put enough sugar and milk in
Oh
it.
my God. You're
You
just
yourself on.
get her out of here. Put enough creamer and sugar in it.
So Mike wants to know what a commission costs. It depends on the commission. If it's a sketch
Yeah.
cover,
$5.
I'm still doing the sketch. I'm still doing sketch
$5.
covers for 60.
What is
You
it,
should have
Izzy?
seen how hard it was to do
60
a
for
digital
sketch
retro.
covers.
$5.
How
Izzy,
much
what
does
commission
how much does a piece like the size of the one you're working on go for full color?
This will probably go up to 150 and above, depending on how much colors I really work on.
Nice.
Yeah,
Izzy,
this
how
is,
much
bi-
would it
this,
be?
is, this is a big piece.
To do like a comic book cover, but do like everyone in the community on it, the whole cover. How much would that be?
That's a lot. You're talking about a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, and I mean both sides. You know, it'd be a wrap.
Yeah, that-
Izzy, you only have to draw the people in the front. Then it's really
Yeah,
just
but you have
stacking
to
heads after that.
actually get everybody's face, and you
Mhm.
got a collection.
Yeah,
Then
just
you
do a
gotta
big
figure. You gotta. There's a lot of
Floating.
work there, man.
How much?
floating head
It's
cover.
easy to do someone like Rob because all you have to do is the mustache and the bald head, and that's good. Maybe even Caroline, but and then you got to do some, with Bo. You
How
got to
about
do
you just
something
shut
with
up and
the
do it?
hair.
Caroline. Caroline, how do you feel about being put in the same category as Rob Fatstacks?
I'm in the same category as you.
Yeah,
I feel
apparently.
great. I
Okay,
feel
good.
honored.
Thank you.
So, Simon, I sent a little something with Dave to come back for you. To you.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you.
But I can't tell you.
Probably the Captain America comics that we talked about. What about 12 months ago?
No, it's not.
No?
You're not even gonna know. You're not even gonna know.
Oh my God, it's the Werewolf by Night Omnibus.
Oh, shut up, Bo. Quit fucking my shut up.
Yeah, she said an omnibus to Mad Spidey.
It's like a little.
With
No.
a note on it. Tell Bo to suck.
Is that just to tease me about the missing issues that I have or that I need?
No, I need to get those to you. I didn't bring them with me because there was so much shit I had to bring, but I did think about it and I was like, no, I'm just bringing Rob's because I had your books next to Fat Stacks, which somehow poor Rob Fat Stacks is responsible for like getting everything everywhere. He's just become that person. Like, get it to
I
Fat
don't know if
Stacks.
Rob will
We'll
agree
figure
with
it
you
out.
on that. I was like, I'm not
Huh?
that
Rob,
person.
did you
Stop it.
Rob, did you ever get your Australian price variant of Spider-Man 2099?
It is not Mike.
No.
Still don't have it.
Where was it supposed to be coming from? Were you sending it to me?
Yes, Simon, how does it feel being such a failure?
I'm looking.
Feels good. They're not too bad.
Well, if you hadn't
Did you
sold
just
yours,
call
you
Simon a
moron.
failure?
Yeah, I'm used to it.
I wouldn't consider him a failure, knowing that he has a piece that belongs to you.
Well, that's where he's failed in the friendship.
I don't think he
No.
cares as much.
You
I think he's very
failed by
satisfied
moving
looking
over
at
the
that
other
piece
side of the
laughing
West
every
Gate.
time he sees it.
If you didn't move
Oh,
over the
you're
other
on
side
the
of the West
West
Gate, I would have
Coast
got it to you.
You're on the west coast of Australia?
Yeah.
No,
I've
he just moved over the other side of. He was only like 20-minute drive from my house, and now he's like an hour and 20-minute drive from my house.
So whose fault is it really?
And the air
His.
is so much later.
His.
That's
But you
both
said the
fault.
area is so much wider?
No.
Okay, just making sure. I want to make sure I heard it
Just
right.
had to move away from him. Just had to get away from the guy. Not enough room for the two of you, huh? I see.
Yeah, apparently it's not big enough for.
I saw that your Silver Surfer thing sold out. I should have gotten one, but no, it's stupid.
Everybody says that right once they sold out.
Yeah,
That's right, isn't it?
and I could have got one, but then when I realized that once I ordered the normal A cover book, which I did during the week, like I said I would, it cost me about $100 Australian just to get the one book.
Really?
right there.
Yeah, by the time
The
the
shipping's probably gonna be like
shipping
$60.
and the currency conversion, all that sort of stuff. I'm like, because there was I think there was 2 available left of the big cartel site when I looked, and I went, oh, I really love that Silver Surfer, and then I'm just like, it's gonna kill me. I'll just get the A cover.
And of course he goes like, oh, I couldn't have just had it shipped to Rob. Where
I know. I was just like, order, quick order. Well, that's all right.
You're just really pretty.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh,
Eddie
you
Murphy
have a
movie,
package
Greg.
coming to you.
Do I?
Bo.
Oh, bonus.
Right?
But Bo didn't even do anything to earn it.
He was a channel member.
Oh,
He's getting a t-shirt.
Haha.
you and your perks.
It's worth every.
Backstage, you got to turn your camera on.
Who's backstage?
Yeah, I did Christina. It was awesome.
Upstage. It's Vogsy.
Good morning, guys.
He's at work.
Yeah,
He doesn't
but
sound
we
as
still,
happy. That's
we still have to have
definitely-
visual
You don't have to have
confirmation
it
before you
on
get to the
screen.
stage.
Yeah,
confirm it.
absolutely.
Yeah, just for context, anybody that is weary about sharing links, you can share links to the public all you want. You just don't pull anybody on stream until you verify them. It's that simple.
Exactly.
And if they refuse to, then you boot them.
Then yeah, you
I
just
verify by showing my
You
penis.
don't leave people sitting backstage.
Well,
And
Hey,
it's
yo.
quite the impressive one too, by the way.
Hey, Bo.
I was
Hey,
jealous.
all right, Mo.
Messy.
I had to do that. I had to say that.
Hey, Mark.
They called it
Thanks
Lady
for the
Long
shout
Dong.
out at the end. I giggled. I was like, that's great.
Hey Vogsy, thanks for being you.
No,
I
thank
giggled.
you.
Yeah.
I'm willing to help every year I can.
You were very helpful.
I tried.
hmm
What was
I
it
think you were
helpful?
overwhelmed with how much people appreciated you and wanted to.
I almost cried a few times. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, it's okay to do that. It's okay to be overwhelmed with emotion. I do it
What are you
every
talking
day.
about?
Almost. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Kidding, not kidding.
Gonna go. Yeah.
so, Simon, I just realized in the
Mm.
middle of your stream on Saturday, because freaking Tony, I don't know if he knew you were going live. Old Wolf's doing a sip-in hangout thing. I'm like, dude, at 10 p.m., this is in the middle of Spidey's.
Oh, I didn't run. I knew I wasn't going to run it long because I didn't think there wasn't going to be many people around. So
It's a big internet.
I had stuff to do anyway. So yeah, exactly.
No, I meant this weekend in like a day.
It's still
Yeah.
it's a big internet. You can't. I tell people never worry about the fact that somebody else has a show at the time you're going to do something. It's just it's what there's. If you try to schedule around all the different channels, you'd never go on. So
No,
To be fair,
do
sometimes
what you
Simon
want
goes
and
for
just
8 hours.
be. If you're concerned about it, just be better. That way you get the audience and they don't.
Just be better.
But I mean,
Be
it's
better. I like
it's
that.
Tony, so you know.
Not much to worry about, right?
And that's why I started.
It's
showing
bound to be a
skin.
train wreck.
Yeah, Tony. My gosh, last night was fun. I went on there.
Yeah, love you too, old fart.
It's okay to get emotional. It's pretty effing magical to have all your friends jump out of your phone.
That's how it happened. That's how it happened. I turned on my phone when I got to the Westin, and they all just popped out, and I cried.
Mark, the Jim Lee hollow cover for Absolute Wonder Woman #1 came out as a 4th print. Only did it have a first print release as well.
When we talk about Wonder Woman, I don't think there was that.
I got the foils for the Jim Lee regular and foils for all 3 Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman when they came out, plus the foil logos.
But that was, are you talking about not the ones that were just
Absolute
released?
Wonder Woman #1 had a Jim Lee cover. There was a non-foil and foil for Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
First print?
Yep.
First print? Okay, maybe.
Yep.
I just got the A cover for Absolute Wonder Woman, I think. And then I got like a second print, like pretty cover for it.
And then they just did the this past week, they just did the Mark Spears.
Yeah,
the 3 pieces. Yeah, I got them.
Yeah, I kept the foil ones for now, and I gave away the non-foil ones on the Tuesday stream. Every Tuesday, 2 p.m. New DC Day giveaways every week. 23 March.
There was a lot of books this week.
Yeah, it was massive. The most important book by far was this. I hope you read it, Izzy.
I got the blank and I got the Wonder Woman cover.
Dude.
Whether
you're a longtime DC fan or just getting curious about DC, this is mandatory. If you're just getting, this is one that you'll go through it and you'll put it in your desk versus in your short box because you'll want to keep it handy for like as you're reading through stuff to come.
I didn't make the shop because I was exhausted. I was like, nope, sorry, love it, but.
And your LCS is Rebel Base, isn't it, Boggs?
Yes, sir. They had a booth.
Pops put up a post during the weekend where he picked up some stuff from Rebel Base. He always takes a photo of the booth or the people and gives them a shout out when he grabs stuff.
Yeah, they're good people. I don't have a pull list like I've told people, but they're my main LCS. Yep.
Do you reckon that new history of the DC universe will come out in a different collected edition, like a treasury or something?
It's just a 3-issue thing.
Yeah, but
years ago.
I'm sure they might put it out in a trade paperback. I don't know, to be honest.
I remember years ago they did something similar. It's an Alex Ross cover. It's like the history of the DC. I'm trying to remember when it came out, but I know it's an Alex Ross cover.
Right after Crisis on Infinite Earths, they did history of the DC universe.
I think Mark Waid did it too. I'm not sure.
And it was meant to be because right after Crisis on Infinite Earths, at that point you went through like
Mark Waid did them both. That's so funny.
Yeah, like nearly 50 years of DC history.
Yep, daddy, he knows everything.
Collaboration. The one that's now, I think it's a collaboration.
It's used to understand the timeline. It's used to understand the characters, where people existed and when, because it can get confusing with so much history. And now that it's just been a lot of years later, events and stuff, this just redefines the DC universe. But not necessarily changing things, but just there's small things that they decide to change because events happen. Like, for example, Wonder Woman of the Golden Age the one that rocked with the JSA. That's Hippolyta. That wasn't Diana.
That's
Like,
Mama.
Yeah, Mama
So,
Bear strong.
That's Mama woman. Not
Yeah,
Wonder
Mama
Woman.
Mark,
woman.
who is it?
Isn't it Wonder Mama?
Not
I got to
the
give a
one.
shout out to my boy Nick.
Nicky Pancakes.
That came from Nick.
Nick's in comics.
Looks like it came from BTC.
Well, originally from BTC, but he knew how much I wanted this piece.
Nick equals BTC.
Mark,
Shout out to Mark.
who's
Shout out to him, Nick.
who's telling the story in the DC that book?
Mark Wade is writing it.
No, I meant like who's the character perspective from?
The Flash is narrating. It's not a traditional story where you're like a protagonist, antagonist. The first page is Barry Allen sitting down in his room full of items from across the DC multiverse, across time,
Dang.
talking about how he has a
like-
unique experience and a unique life being attached to hyper time.
I think Franklin
where
Richards
he's
narrates
seen-
the Marvel one.
where he's seen all kinds of events and things, and he feels that it's important to chronological put it down in order because these things come and go and happen so fast that they need to be recorded. So it's him documenting the history of the DC universe. You don't
He
touch
doesn't
base
miss a
with him
thing,
again.
does he?
But it's very, very, very important. It's so useful too. And you have the book, and then at the back end you have just the way that they format just to give you more detail and specific comics and dates and stuff. Is super important. So
Show
through
the
the whole
flash
thing,
drive.
it's just like this. It's just images with narration blocks on the images going through and going
That's what
through.
you did with the Marvel one.
Yeah.
And then this is what they did with the original one too, the post-crisis one. Then after the actual, I won't give you the last page. Then it switches over to this for the back few pages where it gives you brief snippets and comics to references and dates specific. It's super cool. But this first one just takes you through the golden age.
Cool.
Highly
getting
recommend
sidetracked.
people grab it. And it got this cool Sammy wraparound cover.
Yeah, there's gonna be more, right?
Yeah, there's
Just
3
like
issues.
the Marvel one. The Marvel had a few ones. He's good. I like Mark Wade. I mean, he knows his shit. He's been around.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good writer, I guess.
Are
You know,
you
just he's written some good stories. I heard.
Yeah, the original one was done by Marv Wolfman.
I found this for $3.50. It's a reprint, but I still thought it was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I
So
told
The
maybe
you,
Alex
that
Ross
book.
one is the Alex Ross one you were talking about is the original one from the 80s. It just got recollected and covered by Alex
Yeah.
Ross.
this one. So but I thought in this story too, in this one, not the reprint, but the first one, it was her first. Is it just a reprint of the Adventures?
No, it's
No.
her first in continuity. So Batman
Yes, that's what I
Adventures is
thought,
not
is
in
that
continuity. Yeah.
The first print of this is her first in the DCU timeline, like you said, not like Elseworlds or some bullshit cartoon.
Yeah.
She's actually starting in the story in this. Which, I mean, I'm sure it's the same as this one. This is just a reprint, but my God, I
Did
love
you pick that up
some-
at Heroes?
And I found this. No,
The stuff you're
These-
showing.
sorry, I went to the McKay's right after I got home from Heroes just to go look around, and it's for $3. I can't turn that down.
No, not
Right.
at all.
I'm just gonna.
What was your favorite pickup? Not the most expensive, not the biggest. What was your favorite pickup from Heroes?
You got it.
I did.
I asked you if you got it. I didn't get a chance to see if you answered.
I did say yes, and I showed you the book too.
No,
You
I
just don't pay
stepped out. I
attention.
had to step
And
away.
what is
so I
it
could get
that's on the little sign on the little animal cage down there?
It says Super Pussycat, formerly Superman, habitat Kryptonite cage. He's in a
Shout out
pickle,
to Super Pussycat.
bro. It's Super Pussycat, formerly Superman. So they got him. They got him in a pickle. They're fighting
It's a
over.
special kryptonite cage that Catwoman just had laying around.
Like you do if you're Catwoman. You know.
That's so good.
But I was, and then there was a girl. So this is a cool story, Mark. This is how comics bring everyone together. So I was asking around at booths for this book, and different people were giving me different prices I didn't like. And there was one booth, though, the girl was like, "Oh, you're looking for Lois Lane 70? I got my Lois Lane 70 at this place last year." And she was like, do you like Catwoman or Lois Lane? Like, which one? Because I was like, well, I collect Lois Lane. And then she like dropped her backpack and she's like, oh, because I collect Catwoman. She dropped her backpack and like unzipped it and was like, here, take this, and like handed me this. And it was a Lois Lane 81. She's like, I've already got doubles. She was like, well, I saw this and I just couldn't leave it, but like, you need this. And I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yes, I don't want anything from it. You take this. And then like, she was like, everybody's on there. We're all on the spectrum here. I'm like,
Love it.
yeah. So she hooked me up, man. I got another Lois Lane from a complete stranger because she was doing comics the way comics should be done. They're for everybody, and you just, if you love them, you don't care who you're helping. You just want to help spread the nerd propaganda. That's true, man. But that's definitely that, or I really loved hanging out with Larry Welts. I thought him and his wife were funny with their little dirty humor and stuff.
Is that the person that Scotty did the video of, the cherry tart?
Yep. It is.
Nice. Yeah, they seem super chill. Rob, what was your favorite pickup? Not your biggest, most expensive, anything like that, but just your favorite pickup from this year.
For the most part, my probably my JSA covers that I had done.
Man, they were beautiful. There wasn't a miss in the bunch, dude. They were all exceptional.
Yeah, they were, and it made it like one of them that, even though it was good, you go like, oh, that one's a little bit lesser. But you know, but in its own right, it's fine on its own. But it's just because the others are so amazing. But I mean, ultimately for me, I mean, I love, you know, among everything else, when it comes to like the artists and getting to talk, what I have found, and I've talked about it on my Monday. On Monday, I do my sketch cover haul, but there's, you know, getting signatures is one way you connect with artists and stuff, but when you start talking to them and doing commissions and getting delving deeper into the art and stuff, I found some far deeper conversations and connections made with some of these creators when you start getting into art pieces being done for you specifically, and what they, you know, and what they're doing. And you know, they're like, in a very short time, in the 1 year, the connection that I have like with Stephanie Lavad, I absolutely just love her as a individual, and her art is amazing, and her dedication to comics curing cancer as well, just absolutely phenomenal. And so that was for me, the highlight of highlights was, again, being a chance to get something from her and talk to her multiple times throughout the con.
You could tell just from the photo you posted that she's just a genuinely sweet individual.
Yeah, she absolutely, you know, as a breast cancer survivor, she absolutely just, you know, loves our mission of what we're doing, and just, you know, it's great.
Steph, what was your favorite pickup from this weekend? Whether it be a piece of art, a book, a person you picked up and threw out the door?
Really working
person you picked up.
A person I picked up. No, I didn't pick up anybody.
Cliff. That's who that was.
I did pick up this great comics curing cancer.
Stephanie understood the assignment. Good job.
So I did that, and then I also got this one here. This Adam Hughes, and then Adam Hughes signed it, and Lady Fantastic went and got Larry Welts to sign the ankle for me. So I'm gonna actually send this. Is the first thing I'm gonna send into CGC.
Oh, it's signed on the ankle. Okay.
Yeah.
I could
Move
have
your little
quite.
finger. Yeah.
Oh, AH is signed somewhere else. Got it.
Yeah.
On the Minecraft hoo-ha.
Ah.
The Minecraft.
She's got an 8-bit.
I call it the Minecraft Poo Nanny variant.
And then I got these great blanks from
This
Lady.
guy's scratch and sniff. Oh my god.
I got these
DJ
blanks from
I'm telling
Lady
you what.
Fantastic. And so I saw Chris the Comic Vet, and I had a picture with him, but it was a picture of him going like
It
this.
makes sense that he would be killing the children.
You should use the one of him doing that.
And so I'm going to do.
Oh
his
no,
face
he's House of Slaughtering.
House
Okay.
of Slaughter, right? Except he wants a handkerchief on.
Of course he does.
Okay?
Put it on his
Oh, is that
forehead.
an Arthur Adams? That looks like an Arthur Adams piece.
This one? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just printed it out.
I think it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I brought Madam a bunch of blanks that I found.
Mm-hmm. And I have a bunch of blanks still from Naman too. I need to.
Oh, good. I'll try and pick them up whenever I see them. You know, I was really surprised at HeroesCon by the volume of pre-code horror and Golden Age. That was really delightful. The prices were not, but it was delightful to see those books.
So there's always been a good amount of it. What I found this year was that was like the thing to display on your wall.
I guess so.
I mean, like I said, there's always been some up, but this year it was like every booth had some, and many booths had a lot. That was like the thing that they were going to focus on, that and raw books. The amount of raw books up compared to slabs was definitely a market shift away from graded books. I saw it.
Just rub it in a bit more, Rob, please.
I love raw books, dude.
Yeah, no, so does he. But I mean, in the past, you'd go there to be vendors that had, boxes and boxes and boxes of slabs, and there were a couple that had that. But for the most part, it was more likely that they might have, one or two boxes, and the rest of the stuff was all raw stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Matt.
There's really no surprise in that. People don't have as much money as they did, back in 2001. So they rather buy the raw and run the risk of possibly getting a graded copy at a higher, grade. So it's risk taking, but it seems.
All right, Izzy. Best pickup, favorite pickup, memorable pickup.
So it is funny because I didn't pick up so much stuff. I do have a few things I have.
Me either. I brought mostly my books and got my books signed.
The question is one thing. This isn't
thing.
show your haul.
What's your one thing?
Stuff here, but
I
did
two things. I see what you did there, Izzy. Two things.
You saw what I did, right? So I did pick this one up, which I thought was a really cool cover.
Tell us about it. What do we got going on here?
It's just a fun Megatron. Look at that thing.
Look at it, Mylar child.
I haven't even unpacked, to be honest, but this is the one I really like.
Bags matter. Oh wow, that's wicked.
That's cool. Scarface.
Wow,
I've seen that one before.
Like
Tell
a
me this ain't cool.
Scarface
And of
Transformer.
course, the creme of the creme.
Yes.
Was anybody on panel in the elite that were able to pick up the Austin LeMay medal? That thing sold out super fast.
Super
I don't think I saw it there.
Mine's
So I got in there, yeah.
When I was there.
So I don't know if you noticed it, but it's on the Comics Curing Cancer stand.
Dude, that's amazing. Superior stand.
Superior stand. Thank you.
That's super.
That,
cool.
and my highlight, of course, was the auction.
I got this from my boy Mike, Evil Mike. He asked if I saw an Absolute Batman first print, would I mind picking it up for him? I said, sir, yes, sir. And I executed the mission. So I got to send this to my boy Mike because he's been looking for one. This has gone up, y'all. This is not cheap.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, to you, good sir. It was fantastic meeting you and seeing you at the con.
Yeah.
Do you have your favorite pickup? Not the most expensive necessarily, but your favorite or most memorable. What was the one item you were the most happiest to have acquired? Tell us about it. Tell us all about it.
It's in 3D.
Jerry Iger, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle 3D. Dave Stevens did the cover. It doesn't have any 3D glasses with it, so it's probably why I got such a deal on it. But
Good news,
I
I
don't
think
care.
you pick those up.
That's
You
a
can
gorgeous
squeeze.
cover.
Yeah.
It's still like
Hot.
no, runs at the wrong end. I'm sorry. There's
Very
nothing-
nice.
Beautiful
Yeah.
conditioner.
Now with that one that was on
Definitely,
your
definitely a good spine. That you know,
Yeah.
that ankle bracelet is amazing.
was that one that was on your short list, or is
Yeah.
that a happy discovery?
I saw this the first day I didn't get it. I bought it in Invaders one off the same guy. And then I had some I said, well, if I have anything left there. And I went back over there on
Very nice.
Saturday
Nice.
evening at
He's got some technical difficulties.
Oh.
His internet
Yeah.
hasn't had coffee this morning.
Need some caffeine.
I picked
right.
this up.
Yeah, I got some original art from Roscoe. Oh, look at that. Red Hulk.
Yeah.
People
I
should.
don't get,
Okay.
I don't get many Marvel Legends, but I didn't have any Red Hulk
I
representation.
like Red Hulk.
I will say that I will show the one I was talking about. So the JSA project was great, but my favorite of all of them, just since everyone was showing the one, was this one, Mark, the Hawkman from Eric Henson.
Yeah, my God.
That's so good.
That's a lot of muscles.
Oh, nice.
They're like jelly muscles.
Yeah. So this one was great in that he was. When I was going through the list of artists at the con and cross-referencing against their Instagrams and their arts and trying to pick them out, I had targeted him specifically to do a Hawkman. And when I reached out to him pre-con, I only had about a week before the convention, and I said, well, I was very particular. I wanted it on this JSA blank because I have a whole bunch of these and I'm getting all these different JSA members on the same blank, and he didn't have that. And he's like, oh, well, I want to work on a pre-con, so I got to do a different character then. And so he ended up doing a tombstone for me that was amazing. And then when I went and picked it up Friday, and I was talking with him some more and kind of going over stuff, and I had just picked up the Joe Staten Dr. Fate and was showing him that, and he's like, oh, well, I do have time if you want to do another one. And so it was like, okay, here you go, man. This is the let's get that one done. And he killed it. Roscoe, yours was the best of the 2024 HeroesCon commissions, because I commissioned mine with you last year. So there you go.
Got him on a technicality.
That's right. I talk about it. I'll talk it. You'll see it. You'll see me. You want to see my reaction and talk about it, Roscoe, and fill your ego up. Tune in Monday to my sketch cover haul. I talk nothing but great things about your sketch cover.
Yeah, but did you get Gandalf as a sausage?
No.
Okay.
Wait till you see the Howard the Lobo the Duck piece that we're gonna work on. Can't wait to
Sweet.
see that.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah.
What would be some other fun characters? How could you fuse like Ambush Bug and Impossible Man together? Impossible Bug?
Is it Impossible Man, Mr. Mixel already?
It could be.
They
I don't
confirmed
know.
that.
He's got that same character. It could be.
Yeah, no, they actually did confirm that it's the same person.
Jimbo. Good
Good
time. You're on the big stage, good sir, to show
Yeah,
or tell
Jim.
us about your favorite single item pickup. Not necessarily the biggest or best, but the favorite thing you acquired the weekend of HeroesCon.
Well, let me just give a little backstory before I
Please
show
do. Please do.
No, I want front
it.
story.
When I came
Yeah,
to
we'll take
HeroesCon last
The middle,
year
please.
with the wife, we came a day early. We came on Thursday, and after we did that, I said, "Man, next year I'm going a day early again." I liked it. I liked getting there on Thursday, going and picking up your
Ticket.
ticket and
Pass.
everything,
Yeah.
and just it was just. Plus, if I'd have done it last year, I would have. But this year with John, we did. We just walked in. I said, "Man, I'm going downstairs and walk in." He goes, "Think we should do that?" I was like, "Yeah, we got to be like Chip Gettler. Just own it, act like you be there, So we go
I told
walking in.
the guys that.
I was just like, the lady's like, "Are you supposed to be here?" I'm like, "Yep," and kept on walking. Whereas John stopped and talked to her. I'm like, "Why are you doing that? I don't know why
And you didn't have a wrist thing?
Oh no,
No,
I
you don't.
had
You
it, but
don't
it was
put
in
your
my pocket.
wristband on if you're not supposed to be there.
No, I had it in my pocket. I had the lanyard in my
Exactly.
pocket, the wrist thing in my pocket, the whole nine. I was like,
On
yeah, I'm
Thursday,
unloading over here.
on Thursday, we had our exhibitor passes, but I made sure not to put mine on because I'd kept Vogs with me. I'm like, Vogs, just stay with me, and we'll get you in, buddy. And he goes to put his wristband. I'm like, don't do that because now you're advertising that you're not allowed to be here. Put it in your pocket.
So
I'll keep mine in my pocket.
Can you buy shit that first day?
Well,
yeah, of course.
Depends.
Yeah.
Actually, just so happens
While everyone's setting up, it's game on. That's when all the vendors are shopping.
Right. The favorite thing that I picked up because I knew it probably wouldn't be there again.
Let's go, baby.
Metal Ghost Rider.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Yeah, for
You know what?
context, there
You
was
gotta
enough
take
people that got in on Thursday that there was only one of those that made it to Friday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to get it while the getting's good, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just got to do it. So
amazing.
I mean, I just said, I'm gonna do a Chip Gettler and act like I know that I'm supposed to be here. So
I have a term for it,
of course,
but I'll put it in the private chat. That's what I told Cliff and Cuppy.
As soon as I got home, man, I put that puppy
out. We'll
put you
Nice.
because he's got to be right next to Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that book now, Jim. So it doesn't matter.
I got that from C3. When I couldn't get this at C3 because of Barbarian Kung Fu, I got that at C3.
Yeah, just rub it in. But I've got one now. I don't care anymore.
Oh, you got yourself Captain America 100 finally?
Yeah, finally got it. My mate from Sydney got a deal. Got it, and he added that book in. So yes, I was glad.
You mated with somebody named Sydney and got a Captain America. That's amazing.
No, my mate who lives in Sydney.
Hey, if he made it with someone named Sydney, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I did.
No, it's not.
Well,
think about that for a second.
Congrats, by the way, Simon, on your Ghost Rider #1.
Yes, thank you very much. Big
the other
shout
thing-
out to Bubs. He's not the arsehole that everybody thinks he is. He actually helps occasionally.
Sure.
So yeah,
Bubs is too much. He's trouble.
yeah. No, he's Bubs is a good dude, and yeah, finally crossed. That was one of my goals for this year was to get Ghost Rider 1. So mission accomplished.
Congratulations.
Now we just need to get you the real first appearance.
I have Spotlight 5.
Oh, you do? Excellent.
Yeah, I got that like 2 days before New Year's Eve last year.
Oh, nice. Well, I guess next year then is what, Spotlight 6? That's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
Comparatively.
I need to work on my Ghost Rider Volume 1 run. I noticed how like it's very lacking. I only have about 20 issues or something from that Volume 1 run. So I have the entire Volume 2 run. It's just Volume 1 is very lacking.
Why the omnibus?
Shut up with your omnibus.
It doesn't sound floppy.
I got this
enough
from
for
Lady
Mad
F.
Spidey.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's nice.
She loves me.
Silver Band.
Yeah, it's very negative, spacey looking. I like it.
Well, you'd seen it. I remember you seen it.
Go to
You'd be
bed.
like, "Ooh, I gotta get it."
You going to bed?
I'm going to bed.
You sobering up?
Nope, I am not getting any better. And the screen is getting blurrier.
Well, it's because we're that much more attractive.
Yes.
Look, it's only 9 o'clock
very
over
much.
here. What's up? Come on.
Catch you next time.
Watch out for that tree.
Bo, you come to HeroesCon next year?
Fuck oath I am.
You got to come over somehow.
Win the lottery real quick.
I'm not going if you're going.
You got to get that book sooner or later.
I'll get it somehow.
You got to come get your sketch.
What book is he trying to get?
A book that he bought a year ago.
By night, an omnibus. Oh yeah, well that book as well. But
Okay.
I'll get it to him eventually. When I re-find it in the pile.
So Rob, when you are getting all these commissions, do you ever like chat with him about C3?
All the time.
Okay. I mean, I did that with this guy. This guy did this Godzilla piece for me, and that's the, and I had Mark, he was right behind Jang, and Mark's over there said, "Hey, Mark, look at this piece and tell me if it sucks. If it sucks, I'm gonna be mad."
Yeah, he wanted me to look at it first and tell him what I thought of it before Jim sees it.
Yeah.
So the artist shows me and grins, and I said, "That's the best you can do."
Oh, good. Good comment.
He absolutely crushed it. I love the way he drew Godzilla on that print last year. And I said, I'm going to get that from him. I just thought that was cool. Batman. He added the Batman actually. That wasn't part of the concept, but he put it in there and said, "Look, this is what Batman would do." And I'm like, "You're absolutely right, sir." But his name is Gavin Smith, and I talked to him, and he said, "Just email me." I said, "Would you be, willing to consider doing an original piece for Comics Curing Cancer?" And he's like, "Yeah, but email me early," because he said, in October I'll be in England or something like that. So I'm gonna send him an email. I think this month, and
Gavin's a good dude.
On wording that, Rob.
You can proofread it for you.
Yeah, no. What I do is a lot of these guys is it depends upon what I'm doing, but with the ones I commit, some of the ones I commission first, where I haven't, and then when I pick up the commissions, I'll talk to them about it, because I don't want it to sound like I'm, trying to hit them up and now I'm trying to grease their wheels with the transaction after the fact. Instead, I do the transaction first and talk about it, and then I'll get them, and then sometimes I'll come back for additional commissions later on and stuff.
Right.
Or what happened?
Okay.
Like I have one person I reached out to last night that he just overheard me talking when I was talking with Joe Staten when I picked up my piece from him, and we were talking about it. He overheard me talking about Comics Curing Cancer, and he came up and said, "Hey, that sounds amazing.
Right.
I'd like to learn more." Blah blah blah. So I took a picture of his booth because he didn't have a card or anything. And last night I was just going through my pictures and stuff. And go, let me find this guy. I reached out, sent him an email, and so I can now follow up with him and hopefully get him on board and such.
So let me ask you another question real quick. Is it because that was the first thing Gavin asked me? Well, what would you want drawn? And I'm thinking, I have no idea.
No,
do you just say play to your strengths and draw what you're comfortable with? Or
No, never say that.
Never say
so,
that.
So I always usually will talk, when that comes up, someone will talk about, hey, well, look, it's comic books is the focus. So it's something comic book related. But ultimately, as far as whether or not they want to do a sketch cover, whether they want to do a 9x12 or 11x17, whether they want to do something original or whether they got something that they've done in the past that they want to donate, it doesn't matter to us. because sometimes these guys they intend to do something original, then they start to think they don't have time, and I'm like, hey, you got something that's already done. I mean, who cares? You've been hauling up. You got a page that you've been. So you got a page you've been hauling back and forth to cons, and tired of hauling it with you everywhere you go. We'll take an original page. It's all good.
Right. No, I mean, that was my next thing was like, he asked me what would I want done, and I was like, I'm not really sure, but I just know I want some type of original
always like
art.
to let them do whatever. I always like to tell them, do it. This is your chance to do a character that you want, or if that's what you're doing. If you're, it's like, what character have you always wanted to do, or whatever you didn't get a chance to do? Hey, man, do it. Because there's I mean, obviously, there's certain characters that have a wider appeal, but at the end of the day, good night, Australia. I mean, I'd rather them do something that, since they're doing it and donating it to us.
I agree with that, Rob, because I think that when you do something, when you let the chef or whatever make his own meal, for you, or you give the creator more leeway, you're going to end up with a better product.
Yeah, I mean, I do that most of the time with most of my commissions anyway.
That's where I beg to differ. I'm on the fence when it comes to that. When someone tells me do what you want to do, that really means that they don't know themselves what they want, but I don't want to do something that they don't want. So for me, it's more about
when it's something.
You know what I mean?
But when it's something free, Izzy.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. To give them a zero. I mean, other than say, hey, comic book related, whatever whatever your kind of. When it comes to my commissions, I do tend to sit there. Look, we talk about. So there's some guidelines like, okay, I want a torso, or like usually for some of these things I like something dynamic, or as opposed opposed to a portrait pose. And
I knew exactly what I wanted, and I told him that, and he just went a step further, which made it even better, because I did not have Batman in this conversation. I just said, hey, put the bat signal up there and we'll pretend like we're in Gotham. And he's like, I couldn't pretend. I had to put Batman in there. And I was like, hell yeah, that's even better. That's the creative side that I didn't catch that he had, and I'm all for it.
See, that's why I think, give it up to the artist.
But like, you know what? Right. I mean, and I don't have a problem with that. I just don't want to. My other thing would be like, so I was thinking about this is like, what's going to sell? We had, what is something that will sell? Would a sketch cover sell better than a 9x 12?
There's
or
different
17?
It's really different. It doesn't matter. There's different audiences for
absolutely.
things, right? Like for example, for me personally, I usually don't buy anything other than sketch covers, but for others, there's people who don't buy sketch covers, so it really doesn't matter. Art, having different art for different folks. Quick question from Universal, who's here for the first time. Says Diamond now bankrupt, does no more cover book price guide Bibles such as Overstreet Price Guide. How do you value or price comic books? Well, Overstreet is kind of an outdated format to begin with these days, because it was it's been replaced by various digital. There's various different digital applications, websites, evaluation guides, and stuff that are able to respond and be more timely and change with the changing market than the printed guides were ever able to. So there's various different apps from Cover Price and Go Collect and GP Analysis, and then there's people who will look up just recent sales on eBay and such. There's lots of different ways. There's probably no perfect way. It's just a matter of whichever one you happen to be familiar with or happy with.
Yeah, it's just more like, whereas you get a valuation once a year with that, you're going to get it weekly or perhaps even daily with the online stuff.
Yeah, with the online stuff, it's daily.
Yeah.
They have algorithms in place to get the information.
And then if you don't have books or stores, where do you recommend buy a track? That again, obviously the internet becomes your fill-in, and there's a myriad of various online places you can get stuff from, my comic book shop to eBay to various
ABS.
local comic book shops that will sell and service you online, to online exclusive retailers, etc. So I mean, by all means.
This has been brought to you in part by.
You can set up a pull list through numerous shops online, including ABX Comics and Games. You can do your FOC orders and find exclusives. Mail-in. If you ain't got them near you, it's mail-in. There's a lot of folks in this community that use ABX Comics and Games is that they pull their books weekly and mail them when they're ready.
Yeah, I mean, Steve was doing that for a while,
right? I love the Overstreet price guide. I absolutely love it. I consider it the comic book Bible even to this day. It's not the on your second accurate resource, but it does do the annual compilation of prices, and you get a good idea of that. And it's more than just the price guide. There's all kinds of stuff in each and every one of them every year.
So what print was that, or what edition was that?
This is the most recent one. This is the 53rd.
Can you imagine getting like the 5th edition and like Hulk 181 or something is
bro, I've got tons.
$5.
I've got these for years because of Pops. You know what I'm saying? Because of Pops.
Yeah.
The old ones are a blast, dude.
That makes me laugh. Look at
I do want to make sure we call out the folks, ladies and gentlemen, known far and wide amongst a very small portion of the global comic book industry. It's renowned in his own mind letterer Justin Birch,
the man,
often nominated,
the legend.
Justin Birch,
Ringo Award user, guy.
Welcome
nice
to our corner of the world again, sir.
He smoke bombed out too at Heroes.
Oh, I smoke bombed out of the show, out of the group chat, just about anything that I could.
You're just smoke bombing.
I feel like I was a contributing factor to that.
Yeah, you're trying to get away from
I don't think I helped that.
Now, Justin, we've been asking everyone on the panel, what was your favorite pickup from HeroesCon? Not necessarily your most expensive or anything like that, but just what is your most favorite that made you happy?
Oh, what made me happy? I'm gonna go with what is here in my possession and not at Dustin's house.
Okay.
Okay.
You got Dustin doing a little work for you. I like it.
Yeah, it's a different experience when you walk around with him and you buy a book and he just takes it out of your hands and says, "I'll send it back to you."
That's awesome.
I'll make it better. I'm gonna make it better.
This is probably the one that made me the
yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, the happiest. So
You met Don Rosa though, right?
I met him last year.
Okay.
I mean, I did ride the elevator down with him one day, but I just said to myself, "Don't talk to him. Just stare at the buttons."
Well played.
It's like, what's this guy looking down on the floor the whole time?
Now I know, like, his hair is just like Scrooge McDuck's in a way, dude. Like, he's kind of I've got the wild hair sticking out on the sides, which I kind of like.
What I thought was funny was that he made the sound effects of the elevator stopping when we got to the bottom. Like, wow.
Dude, he was really funny at when I was getting his signature. He was like, "I've got this whole array of names here." It was like this list of different names. He's like, "You could be an Arthur. I could write a Stanley. I could do this and that." I'm like, "You're a pretty dry guy, aren't you?" And he started giggling really hard. I was like, "Your name's just good, and that's fine." He was just like, and he was so tickled. He was a goober, but I liked it. The thing that I liked the most about this is that, of course, these are writers of the content that we love to get. These guys are playful people. These creators and these artists and content, writers, they are so playful. And so for me, it was great to see that playfulness brought out in the people that made me happy as a kid. And like, I had some great conversations, surprising conversations with like Amanda Connor, with freaking Josh Middleton, with Jeff DeCal, with Art Adams. Like, you have these conversations with people that you wouldn't imagine, you know, and it's just so gratifying, and
Right.
it's fun to see them have fun too. Like, they're not feeling hounded, and I think it's just a nice air of mutual respect. God,
Yeah, like
I'm
Adam,
out.
Adam Hughes when he was signing.
Sorry, DJ.
Lady
No.
F with the F. We know what the F stands for now.
DJ.
Feelings.
Oh.
Favorite pickup from the show? Not necessarily the most expensive. It can be, but what was your favorite pickup?
You can say Mrs. Links. It's okay.
My favorite pickup of the show was Mark. When I saw him and hugged him, I picked him up for like 2 feet off the ground. That does count as a pickup. So it will
Yes,
be
it does.
Mark, Legion of Comics.
That's a person you picked
Then
up.
you took him back to your room. Wow.
Yeah, I actually did.
Next year, I'm running an hour.
Pay no attention to the camera.
You could take him there.
Just ignore this camera. Don't worry about it. What's
So you
that red
guys-
light? Nothing. Just
You guys said that Mark had the Jeffrey Dahmer look, but I felt like
oh, that
he
thing
had-
was hilarious.
Oh, I thought it was an early tech tycoon, like a Bill Gates or something. That's what I was thinking.
Mark
Same
More
thing,
love.
more or less. But I mean,
Mark loves my
80s.
serial killer glasses right here.
Bro, it was lovely. You do have serial killer glasses.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah, I get a lot of
He was on
looks
a
when
white
I-
dude though. That's the
killer.
thing.
Oh no!
you put
No,
some
I
yellow
think-
lenses in them, and you even have shooter glasses.
Oh my god.
Serial
Yeah.
killer glasses do not see color, Lady
You
F.
put the glasses on.
Oh my god, they do.
Crawl space.
No, they do not.
It is all the weirdos. It's a well, I
When
mean
you
they
put those
don't, to
glasses
be
on,
fair. It's to be fair, they don't. Serial killers come in all colors.
To answer Mark's question seriously about my favorite pickup, my favorite pickup probably has to be.
Oh my god, it's just got to be. It's just so much creepier than on when it's on Mark. Look how creepy he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see that picture, you say you better check that guy's crawl
Yeah.
space.
That's because he doesn't have a hat on. That's why he looks creepy. It has nothing to do
You
with
think
anything.
that? I think it's the glasses.
No,
I like how no one takes into account that I'm actively making a face to look creepy.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say,
not
it's the
like
smirk,
normal
man.
face.
It's the freaking smirk.
It's
it's
the
the blonde
psychopath.
hair.
That's just your face, sir. Favorite pickup for me is probably the original Joker piece from the art book. So if you got this year's art book, there's a piece in there done by Dave Akins, who does the art behind SpongeBob, Dora, Blue's Clues, all that other good stuff. And when I had asked him to contribute to the book, I don't know if there was like a misunderstanding or something, because I had bought a piece and then he sent me the Joker piece and was just like, you could use this Joker piece. And I was just like, but okay, sure. So I used the Joker piece, not knowing that the piece was still available. So then when I saw it at his booth, when I went to give him his compensation for the art book, which is for every artist, they get one art book. That's their compensation. So I gave him the art book and he was just like, oh man, I saw people started posting it. So I was waiting for you to like reach out to send it to me and get my address. I didn't know, whatever. And I saw the Joker piece there. And I was just like, I want that Joker piece, sir. So I bought it, no haggling, no nothing. And then I told him just to keep it at his booth so it doesn't mess up his display. But yeah, that's probably my favorite piece of the con, that Joker piece.
Yeah,
Now, to
that's
be
what
fair,
I think.
haggling original art isn't necessarily a thing. That's really in bad taste, to be honest with you. But it didn't stop me from throwing it out there a couple times.
Yeah, when you did it with Victor Farrow. And shout out to Victor Farrow, man.
Dude, he's so
You're a super nice guy.
His rep though, old Scott, he was cool too. He had a good sense of humor.
Adriana Mello was a sweetheart.
Yeah,
Absolute sweetheart.
I think when we like hit up booths together, Mark, you and I, it becomes a thing. So it's almost like a comedy routine, and people look at us and go, "Oh, these rascals," and they like
Dude,
rub
I
our
didn't
heads.
even. I don't see it like that because like we just hang out and talk. But when that lady was at the booth talking to us, and we were just being ourselves, and she goes, "I really like your guys' shtick," and we're like, "We have a shtick."
What?
And
It was a shtick.
we looked at each other and said it simultaneously. And we're like, "Oh, well, I guess we do."
It was like 5 times where you and I literally said the same exact thing at the same exact time, and people were looking at us like, "What the fuck? Like these guys
Like,
practice
they
this shit?"
really
I'm like,
practice this.
Which it wasn't. I love you,
That
dog.
was hilarious.
Yeah, so that's my favorite. My favorite
Yeah,
thing.
and, DJ's just the eternal sweetheart. He just casually walks up to the booth and brings me this Victor Farrow original original.
I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah. So this is not a print. This is like. And then I had messed with DJ. Goes, you know how much that cost? I go, yeah, like $40 probably.
Wrong. In the words of the great Lex Luthor, played by Kevin Spacey. Wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely not $40. But dude, I appreciate that. We're heading out of the house here in a little bit. We'll be picking up frames for all the stuff that we picked up.
Yeah, I still have all my stuff that I picked up. It's just in a pile over there.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything. I didn't film like a haul video, like nothing. Everything is just in the side. My other highlight was definitely having a quality time with Mr. Rob Fatsax of Comics. We bookend the show. We had dinner on Wednesday when we got there, and then we had dinner Sunday night, which was amazing. So,
did you enjoy the dinner better on Sunday or Thursday or Wednesday?
Sunday.
Wednesday or Sunday?
Sunday probably. It was a treat to see Rob send the steak back 3 times.
There's less pepper.
Way less pepper, dude.
DJ didn't get sick, and he just got to watch me get send my steak back multiple times.
Yeah, Rob was just like, this is 124 degrees. I wanted 125 degrees.
Well, so the joke on that is that they had an item on their menu, which was really odd at first. First of all, it was like, wasn't it like the asparagus or something? Like, or I don't know, but there was something, they had like these little weird notes on it that they served with it, the appetizer item, and one of them said a 63-degree egg.
Yeah, so it was the asparagus. Yeah. The asparagus that was a side came with a 63-degree egg as a side to the side.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and there was a ham, so the ham was a side. It was just insane.
A side.
Yeah, 60. We should rephrase 63 degrees Celsius.
Celsius.
They've been called out 63 degrees Celsius, like any American would know what especially in the deep South, would know what the fuck Celsius was.
Yeah.
It's like except for Lady Fantastic, and then, but yeah, they get the steaks out, and like the first steak I got was like it was well done. And
man, they fucked it.
So
I like mine dead. I like mine well, bro.
So I sent it back. Well, I order it medium.
How did you order it?
I ordered it medium.
Okay.
I'm fine with medium rare.
Yeah.
You know, and so I have a pretty wide gamut. I'll accept it, but but well done is not it.
No. Well, then you're doing it.
And they had no qualms. They got it. They're cool. And then as soon as when they brought the next one out, I told DJ as soon as I got it, so this was be raw.
It was screaming on the plates though.
And it's like as soon as I touched it, I could tell the freaking meat was like, it was not.
And now they're just going to be cooking that piece of meat over and over until you.
That's exactly what they did. Instead of giving me a new one again, which is what they should have done, because I had cut into it.
Yeah.
They should have given me a new steak, because now when you throw it back on, you're losing juices. But also
the meats.
But also, technically, from a health and safety standpoint, it's left your kitchen. It should not be going back on the grill again with other food. Yeah. So, but they did.
They got it right. They got it right on the eighth try. They got it right.
Third try.
Was your meal free, Rob?
No.
What?
They actually offered Rob a job as the head chef.
They did not even to be honest, they didn't even discount it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the only thing that they did is I think, as I recall, I don't think they charged me for my cheesecake. But
did the manager come over and talk to you at least?
Somebody who was probably the floor manager came out with the second and third delivery of the steak to sit there on it. But yeah, it was funny. By the time I think I started eating mine, both DJ and his wife were done eating, just sitting there like, we were there.
What a hoity-toity prick we got to work with here
for hours.
I mean, once they saw the mustache, they kind of knew what they were in for. So
yeah, you have DJ's corn muffin picture.
I don't know where it is right now.
You need to find that because he needs to see it and how much it means.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that at Heroes. And
Izzy, what do you got there, Izzy?
Got some. I'll show you guys some pencils.
Mark, did you say what your favorite pickup was?
No.
Mark, at HeroesCon, what was your favorite pickup? Not your most expensive, but your favorite, personal favorite.
He's gonna pull the Turok. Pull the damn Turok.
The pencils.
Yeah.
No.
The weird one.
The suspense, right?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh,
You didn't pull that.
Yeah.
Your wife pulled that, didn't she? Or was it you?
No. This is the John Jang art pen.
Oh,
So
okay.
CGC started doing this thing where artists have these exclusive pins at their booth, and they have different ways that you can actually acquire them. They're super limited, very hard to get. And this one,
cool,
was that was awesome.
How did you acquire that, sir?
At the John Jang booth.
Wow, this is
the way that they are.
Said, "Hey, John, it's me."
Yeah,
I need a pin.
Mike.
The way that one can acquire one of those is by going to John's booth and dropping $250 at the booth, and that unlock 20. He brings that from the table.
Then he probably charges you another $20 then for the pin afterwards.
Probably charges Rob another $20 at the pin. But yeah, John's awesome. I didn't do that. But
Kenny, what are you doing?
I can confer with John B.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so this is definitely my favorite pickup outside of that pin, because that pin means a lot to me. But this is something that I do every year, is get one of the original 6 Hulks. Now I'm down to just needing number 1 to having it complete. But I wasn't planning on getting this because of circumstances with
what did Marcus do?
The car dying, then the battery, having to replace the battery, and then having to replace the AC unit. I'm like, I don't know. It's not that I couldn't get it. It was one of those things like I just would. I don't
rather
know,
not. Yeah.
I want to feel excited about getting it, not like I'm checking off a box. But the wife was like, "Hey, check that out," and I'm like, and I've seen the grade on. I'm like, nah. So yeah, take a look at it. I took a look at it. I checked cover price. F&V on it was like $14.26 on cover price. The guy already had it down to $1,000, which was a killer deal inside of probably the GPA price range. And he came down a couple $100 more after haggling with him.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you say about checking boxes, and I felt like I was checking boxes at some point, and I didn't want to do that. So I felt like I had to film. I had to go around and look for stuff. And then by like Friday, I was just like, yo, I'm just going to chill with my cats, man. Like, I'm not going to do anything extra. Like, I don't need to do all this stuff just to be a content creator or whatever. I'm just going to chill.
How many cats you got?
I got Rupert, and Dante is dead, unfortunately, but I do have his ashes.
I'm so sorry.
So do you play
I didn't kill him.
He has a clouder of cats.
Mark did with those glasses on.
Do you just have one cat?
Mark skinned them. Yes, Lady F. I'm glad that that's what you got out of that heartfelt sentiment that I'm trying to express here. I do have a cat.
Lady F doesn't understand how you only have one, though.
Yeah.
Mark killed and skinned all the rest.
How long ago did you lose Dante?
This morning, actually.
Okay.
Are you? You're just an asshole. You're doing the corn muffin shit.
By losing Dante this morning means he misplaced his ashes.
Yeah. I thought I was making coffee. You know the Maxwell House, the powder.
That due date movie. Yeah.
I grabbed his ashes by mistake. Now
this
cat
coffee
feed.
tastes like pussy.
Oh, Rob.
Oh, I'm out, Rob. Oh, shit.
All right, I have to
clip that.
Jump off. I have to jump off.
Cat.
I have.
That was it, Jim. That was as far as you can go.
Well, I have a meeting. Shit. Well, Sarah and I have a meeting that we have to go to. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce out too, but I gotta tell you
here in a minute.
I gotta show you what I was working on.
Okay. Oh my God!
Slow reveal, Jesus Christmas.
He wants to be big.
Iron Man.
No, it's Crimson Dynamo 6.
Is it RoboCop?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's RoboCop.
RoboCop, right? Even better.
That's
pretty good.
Izzy, why are you leaving so much blank page around him? Didn't they?
It's gonna get colored. That's why.
He's gonna have missiles.
Is this a commission for somebody?
Yeah. It's a commission for somebody.
Well, you got to give them at least 10% off whatever you quoted them at. Doing that little bitty
Well,
drawing on that big paper.
You gotta see. That's not the finished piece. This is just pencils.
There better be 3 more characters around him.
He saw
Sure.
Dave Aiken's work and was just like, "Hey, I could do that with just a little image in the center and all white."
Yeah.
space on it."
Yeah.
It's called negative space, don't you know? He can sell at the gym for $1 billion.
There you go.
Oh shit!
Oh, with Jim's piece.
That's right.
Yeah, just make
It's not
the
much.
walls. I mean,
I do have 2 more pieces coming, 2 more art pieces coming, but the guy, yeah, I knew he wouldn't have it done, and I did that on purpose because day 2, when I talked to him about doing this other piece, he was like, "Yeah, I can knock that out tonight." I was like, "This guy ain't gonna have it done," and then he's gonna feel bad. And sure enough, Sunday he was like,
felt bad?
"I feel real bad about this," and I was like, "He's like, I'm gonna just."
Do something extra.
Go above board with it,
Right.
do extra, and I'm gonna mail it to you. And I was like, all right.
That's my trick.
Yeah, exactly.
I got
exactly.
2
And
that didn't get done.
Right. And he's like, I'm a teacher, I'm a school teacher, so I'm off all summer, but I'm gonna get on top of this. And I have his number now, so he's definitely another one that I'm looking at for hitting up for C3 stuff because
Like call him every 5 minutes, like, "Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done?"
Yeah, just checking on the piece. Just checking on the piece.
Jim,
not at all.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
Jim, that Gavin Smith Godzilla piece is fantastic.
Right, and that's one of the other guys I want to do a C3 piece, but I think I'm gonna see if he wants to do the turtle. He does turtles really well.
That added Batman adds so much to it.
Yep. That's why you let the artists do their thing, man.
The piece that the Captain America that
Unless
Atkins
it was
did
Izzy.
was amazing.
The Captain America piece that Dave Aikens did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that piece was there last year. So what happens when I met Dave Aikens last year? So my sister-in-law.
Oh, cool.
Phenomenal. Yeah, that's fine.
That was great.
My sister-in-law bought a SpongeBob sketch cover off of Dave Aikens last year, but I got to talking to him, and he was like a super cool dude, super like fun and energetic. So that's what made me want to reach out to him. His pieces last year were more expensive than this year. So he had an Incredible Hulk that he donated to the auction last year. At the table, it was $500, and at the auction, it went for $800. This year, all his prices were reduced by $100 on the big pieces, and these are like 24 by 36 original art pieces. So that Joker I only got for $400. The Captain America was also $400, but since it didn't sold, he donated it to the auction and it went for $1,300. But his commissions for those big pieces with the like old school image in the center, $500.
Yeah,
that's a good deal.
That
That
is a good
Steve
deal.
Rude Shadow was $400 that we had with the pops.
Did get 2 pieces came in yesterday for Comics Curing Cancer. These are Comics Curing Cancer pieces. Comics Curing Cancer pieces that came in the post from various artists. This first one is from artist Peter David. He did
Peter
a piece.
Peter David, the Hulk guy.
I'm sorry, Peter Smith. Peter Smith.
Peter David.
Damn, Rob, you're really showing out this year.
Wow.
Sorry, Peter
From
Smith.
the grave.
So Peter,
Jesus Christ.
Peter Smith did a piece.
Hanging out with Dante.
Was commissioned.
Oh my God.
He was commissioned to do a piece for me at WonderCon, but he didn't get it done on. Even though it was a pre-commission, he still never got it done. Didn't get it done then, and so he said, "I'm going to get you an extra book." And I said, "Well, I'm going to donate it to C3." And he goes, "Oh, that's great." And then I'll do another one then at some point. But this is the one that he sent for Comic Screen Cancer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. That's
Harley
funny,
Quinn.
Rob.
I know that Christina probably be all up on that.
Yeah.
So this is
Looking at it, it's like, who's this Peter David you keep talking
He
about?
does a lot of these Batman, the animated Adventures Continues covers. He's got a ton of them, and he does these. He sells them on Remark. One of the Harley Quinn ones I saw go for like $800 on the site, which was cool. So hopefully we'll get that. And the other one, a gentleman that I had some of you guys might remember my Rocketeer punching a Nazi.
Fire. Yes.
Death Designs. He did a piece for me to make up. We had to do a makeup piece for somebody from C3. He worked with me on that, and then he also sent in an extra piece for this year's Comics Curing Cancer. He did this. He wanted to do the shock.
Shocker!
choppy.
Oh man, that looks
Neato.
amazing.
That looks really good.
Yeah, I love. He does those great monochromatic, like color schemes and stuff. That he does stuff, and this is incredible.
I love how he was able to
it's
capture the
amazing.
yellow with grays in some weird way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
Awesome.
So those are a couple pieces that came in for Comics Curing Cancer.
Can we start bidding right now?
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say. $1. $1, $2, $3.
No, that's phenomenal.
All right. I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
Can't wait
soon.
to see in the mix tonight. I'm expecting some fire. All right. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Jimothy.
It's the season finale. DJ will be giving away the cover art to the Comics Curing Cancer art book.
That's a statement.
In the form of a book.
I will be. Hey,
Hey,
Nicky,
Nick.
my boy. I will be giving away art book, one of the David Sanchez art book that Spidey's Powder Tumbler paid for. So Jose Gonzalez paid for 2 art books, one to send to him and then one to give away. So I will be giving that away. That's why we're not like heavy on the giveaways this year. We want to raise money. So he paid for that. So we'll be giving that away. And then the links box. The links box. Oh, the links box is going to be fire. I'm going to reveal the June links box after the winner is drawn tonight. So I'm not even going to show what it is.
Will you sprinkle it with Dante's ashes?
They were all in my coffee. So technically, yes, I can, but it's
Just spit all up
going to
a
be
little
gross.
Those ashes, man.
I could purge. What up, Nikki?
Good morning, Daniel.
¿Cómo está usted?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien.
Así.
Aquí, tranquilo.
Para
looking
información en
¿Qué lo
español,
que?
marque 2. Para inglés, marque 1.
¿Qué está pasando aquí?
No habla, bitches.
Marca 1.5.
Rob looking especially delicious today.
It's only because of the shirt, baby.
Oh.
Found out this last weekend, that the F in Lady F stands for frenetic.
Oh.
It was very, very energetic to meet and bouncing all over the place, which
You were the one that
something I
started
didn't-
punching me, so I had to punch you back.
Jesus Christ. When we
Sounds like you lost siblings.
When we saw Lady F and Madam for the first time, they were walking down the hallway, and we were in the back coming from like the parking garage. So I don't have really good vision without my serial killer glasses. So I'm like, yo, they look familiar. And when Lady F made the jerking motion, I was just like, that's Lady F.
That's her. I started doing the walk off.
Yeah, you were like, ah. I was like, oh,
that's
shit,
my sign of international peace.
I was like, that's Lady F. That's how,
when I see aliens, I'm gonna be like, blah, 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 blah.
Forget the international sign of the donut. It's the sign of fapping.
The aliens won't know what to make of that. They'll be like, what the fuck?
They'll shoot me with a ray beam, and I will turn into a pile of dust like Mr. Dante.
No, you never know, man. That might be the right aliens. Like that's their motion of just like peace and
yeah, they'll greet me back. Blah, 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 blah.
Galaxy Quest, I gotta say, was the best movie. Like in
I
terms
love
of
Galaxy
alien
Quest.
movies. Galaxy Quest, like
Mark, you're not gonna ask Nick what his favorite pickup was. Not his most
I
expensive.
was
but his
waiting.
favorite.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
I know too much. This fucking Justin doesn't shut up. Justin Birch.
Oops, sorry.
Rob wants to tell
Guys,
us what Rob's favorite
we
pick
have
is
not
again.
said hello to Justin. Hello, Justin.
What are you talking about? Oh,
How are you?
Hi, Justin.
Yellow.
Hello, Justin.
I wasn't here when you hopped on. Y'all didn't say hello to Justin.
I didn't notice he was here until now.
They were talking about whatever. I forget what it was. Something about comics.
It was either about Brisket or HeroesCon at this point. The Christopher Lockwood exclusive for the T3 art book. My favorite cover from this year with the
It's so
surfer
shiny.
ring art. That's officially sold out.
Officially.
That was
covers
what
out
was
of
that?
4
$50? Was
sold
that one
out.
$50?
40 bucks.
40 schmeckles.
$40, and then he wasn't charging for SIGs and remarks. And I had even told him, I was just like, yo, Chris, like, you can't just be giving shit. He was like, no, but it's a charity book. And I was just like, yeah, we understand that. It's a charity book at the C3 booth, not at the Christopher Lockwood booth.
Well, he could sign it for free, but remarks he should charge for it.
Yeah, he's legit the nicest guy ever. The world to come. Shout out to Ryan Gosling.
He misspelled come.
Hey, look at that asshole DJ Links put a SIG.
Look at taking all the right in the center too.
Yo, it's me, dog.
Nick, what was your favorite pickup from this year?
Look at him doing this shit all quiet and like handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the fire one you had in remind.
And you like lean. There you go.
Oh, put it up a little bit. Yeah. Oh, Nikki.
Nice.
Nikki, my boy. Oh shit. Yo. I saw when Austin was doing it, but I didn't see the completed thing. Oh, Nikki, my boy. How can
But as usual, it wasn't about the pickups. I had a lot of personal moments
with Tyler in the room.
With Tyler in the room, true. This is true. A lot of stuff that I witnessed firsthand.
With Tyler in the room,
it doesn't come out.
Is he a 1 minute man, like they say?
The stuff with Tyler in the room was really just like all in my face, but the other stuff that I witnessed.
Did you at least give him a tattoo that he owes us while you were there?
Well, I don't know if it was permanent, but it sure was on his tramp stamp spot.
Oh shit!
Dang, I can't believe that.
Came off with a little tissue.
He had that cat coffee.
Hey, if you can close your eyes and pretend. Wait.
But there were a lot of good moments. A lot of good moments.
Yo, I'm out.
Seeing Pops get his Father's Day gift.
That
was amazing, cool. I saw the video of that. I wasn't there.
With Tyler in the room.
With Tyler in the room.
Yeah, dude, that was like just the universe aligned in that moment. We were waiting next to Anthony's booth to try to see if we could pull something off Sunday morning, and I started looking through the TV and movie folder he has. I found this amazing Mike Grell Terminator 2 piece, and then I looked through the Valiant notebook, and then I see Pulp Heroes. I'm like, oh, there we go. We got the trifecta here, and I found that Steve Rude piece. I'm like, man, Pops loves Steve Rude. We were just talking about it the night before at the art auction, and then it was the Shadow even. And then it was personalized to some guy named Russ. So I used that as my haggle point to get it down from 400.
Shout out to it was originally for Super Russ 9000.
It might have been.
I think he got it, and then he must have sold it or something.
Must have. But dude, haggling with Anthony was like one of the highlights of the con because he's happy to haggle. Like he like tried to shit on me and DJ for our follower count, having no clue what it was. Like the dude was a savage, and it just made me want to haggle even harder. I'm like, hey, this is personalized to somebody. Like, can you shave some dollars off? And I just went for the jugular. I'm like, let me get it for $275. He's like, fuck no. I'm like, he's like, that's pencil. You can erase it. And I told him if I do that, I'm part of the commission, and you got to give me a discount for that. And then he holds up his little advertisement card off his table and puts it into the DJ's camera's face. And I'm like, see, now you're getting free advertisement. That's a discount right there. He goes, add up y'all's followers. I'm sure I have more than y'all combined or some shit. I'm like, yo, bro, chill. I'm one of them.
Yeah, I was just like, why am I like in this?
Yeah, we're sure you do, bud. I'm one of them. Yeah. But finally, he felt like he caught the W. He's like, he just finally goes, fine, $280, and he walks off. So not my price, but $5 more, and just leaves me standing there with his kid who's working the booth.
And Mark said, "Yep,
yep,
$280. You got to take the kid."
It was cool to take it back to Pops and present it to him. This Steve Rude shadow piece that's personalized to my dad's first name. So I never needed. I would have paid full price for it happily, but it was fun to haggle for it.
Fun to haggle.
Hey, Mark, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, Mark, I found a Bernie Wrightson signed like a book. It was like a Korg or something like one. And it said to Ed from Bernie Wrightson or whatever, and so I gave it to Roscoe.
Roscoe, yeah. That's always a treat when you find something that's right up someone's alley and you see that it's signed to them. Because a lot of stuff that I get signed, I get personalized to me, you know, like or to my kids. My kids have a lot of stuff that's personalized to Finn or Monkey.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't get
It's
it.
gonna be really hard to find those things that say to Monkey.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find them in the wild, but we're creating them. Like the first time we met Jang, Monkey was a baby and it got her a piece, but we wanted to get her a Spider Gwen to go in her room, and that was like on the wife's hit list. So she went over there and was talking to John, and to Monkey, and then he went. As always, he wouldn't let us pay for nothing. Sorry, Rob.
I always have to apologize for it. Sorry, Rob.
Yo, it's crazy, like going to these things. Like when I think back, like when I started with YouTube, and because I've been to cons like forever. Even when I wasn't collecting, I would go for the toys and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
But then to go now, and you're walking and people like John, for example, is not just I'm an artist I'm gonna see. That's the homie.
That's
and
the
he's
homie,
like, yo,
right?
DJ from across the room, and these other artists and stuff, and like these creators that like know us, which is it's insane to me. Like, I don't know, it's just a really humbling moment. I'm gonna cry now.
You probably should.
Girl. You cry.
Get it out. Let it out.
I gotta go.
Don't get your corn muffin
serious.
wet.
So, but thanks for having me. I had fun meeting all of y'all.
Hell yeah. It was awesome meeting you.
It was a pleasure seeing you, Lady F. Like seriously, I wanted to cry when I saw you.
I have that effect on people.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I wanted to cry so badly because I wanted to see you so badly.
It was much better seeing her on day 2 because the first night I saw her, she was just kind of standing.
I was a bitch and I was a mess.
You didn't say hello to nobody. You were just like, "Oh,
what do you mean was?"
Hey, I was a little hangry on Thursday too.
But the next day,
I came. Yeah, I was better.
It was great.
Yeah.
If I wasn't hangry on Thursday, you wouldn't have got a lot of behind the scenes stuff though, DJ.
Yo, I was creeping in the lobby and I saw Lady F about to attack the Uber Eats guy.
I wasn't hangry. I was pissed. I'd been in a car for like 10 hours.
Oh, that was. Remember? Was it Sunday?
It was on Sunday.
When Madam was outside waiting for Uber Eats, and then Lady F came down.
She was like, "Where's my fucking food?" And grabbed the food.
Oh yeah.
At the lobby.
Yo, I was like,
I wanted some
kill the
Indian,
Uber
bro.
Eats
She had
driver.
ordered some Indian. I wanted it bad, and I was hangry. I wanted some.
Yeah,
Indian.
the Indian was good.
Yo, you went like we heard your footsteps. Like, where's my food?
Mhm. And you know who ate all our leftovers? Eman. He came in. He's like, I'm starving.
It was
Yeah.
funny.
Like, this is
Madam,
delicious. Eat this.
Madam had a stack of food and was outside waiting. And then she comes into the lobby, and I'm like, "Oh, how is she going to carry all this stuff?" And then here comes Lady F come down and.
I helped.
Yo, you want to hear something wild about food, which it made no sense to me? Somebody, when I was leaving on Monday, I went to go grab a cart, and this lady had a bag of food on a cart, and it was the only cart available. So I was like, "Oh, would you mind? Let me get that cart." She was just like, "I'm using it." It was a bag of food on the cart, and she was a Uber Eats person that was waiting for the person to come down. I was like, what the hell? It was the weirdest shit. And then I just stood there. And then I saw you, Rob, on Monday, and I was just like, yo, Rob. And you like completely dubbed me and you went into the car. You were like laser focused on your driver and his 5X suit. Meanwhile, he was just like 110 pounds.
Before I go, I have to say I was only a bitch to strangers 2 times. One of the times was when we
you're
were
getting better.
I know, I'm way better. One of the times was when we were getting our tickets and they started like telling us to get into a line. And this guy in the green shirt, he was like, "All right, you redneck motherfuckers." And I was like, "Takes one to know one." And he was like, "Yeah, yes, it does." And then like, okay, that was the only time I was a bitch then. And then there was another time when the green person, like, he was like, whoa, you know, because like you had to keep the gaps open.
The workers.
Yeah, I was going to go and like, because there was room to go and cross, and he's like, whoa. There's just not enough space. And then so I acted like I was like Gandalf holding back like the hobbits from like the fucking bridge. I was like, watch out. This is serious, people. This is not a game.
And Christine and I were trying to touch each
Do
other.
your job. I know. I was like, it's a delicate balance. We're not fucking cattle. So that's not bad. Only 2 times.
That was hilarious.
Only 2 times.
I can't. Universal. I can't say that I've heard of either 2 of those or have any. But there's a lot of online, so it's hard to.
MyComicShop.com, 35% off pre-orders.
All right. Bye, guys.
I was like, this is not all weekend. My eyes were like this big. I was like, oh shit. I'd roll by somebody. I go, oh shit, there's Chris Claremont. Try to go to breakfast and go, oh shit, there's Dan Jurgens sitting next to Chris Claremont. What the hell?
Hey, real quick, Izzy.
Yo.
So this comment from Universal. Thank you for your suggestions and advice. I did some Google searches. I found a few comic book websites, Comic Book Realm and Lista. Are there any you are aware of and that you would recommend? Thank you. So Izzy here writes columns for some of these folks. So I think he would be like the most.
So you got the 2 right. Cover price if you're looking for immediate pricing especially for raws. Go Collect shows the pricing for graded books more than anything. So if you want to get graded books, you go to Go Collect. If you want to look for raw prices, you go to Cover Price. If you're looking for keys, you go to Key Collector. But don't go for prices for Key Collector. Just what are the keys is probably the best approach.
And Cover Price does do slabs as well. So if you check both of them, it's a good way to kind of cross-reference their data and kind of get an average.
Yeah, definitely cross-reference. It's worth cross-referencing. But GPA analysis is another one, but that's a little
the one
more.
That the vendors love.
Yeah, that's a little more upper scale, I guess you could say, or
That's slabs only too, right?
Yeah, but not that much.
GPA is only slabs.
Plus, you have to pay $11 a month for it. So.
Yeah, that's why. So I would stick to Cover Price and Go Collect.
No,
and Go Collect focuses not just on comics. They do cards, they do posters, they do all that stuff.
And I know Diamond's out of business, but is the price
Overstreet's gonna still live?
Yeah, Overstreet is independent from Diamond, I thought.
Diamond's not out of business. They got required. Somebody bought them up, and they're going to do some different stuff with them.
Ooh, oh, Diamond Girl.
But yeah, Overstreet's going to be fine.
I'm probably the only one who gets that reference, DJ.
Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate you.
Freestyle reference you talking about?
Oh, I forgot it. My fault.
Oh, what is that, Nick? Mark, make this guy big.
Who, Nick?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, what is that? Oh my god.
Oh shit. Yeah, what is that? Yeah. What is that?
Now, how many of these exist, Nick?
Not many at all.
Go to sleep. Like you said that shit.
Were there 25 of these?
Nope.
There's 10.
Everybody's got them.
Nope, there's 10. Mark, how did you acquire that?
They definitely don't. The same way I acquired the John Chang pen.
Oh shit. I was just standing there and Mark came behind me and like hugged me around the shoulders and I gave him the sticker. I was like,
That's it. That's it.
Same size too, JB.
JB's got one.
Oh, JD got that limited edition pink, son.
Yeah. Got the variant right here.
Oh shit. It's a blank for a sketch. A sketch.
I'm actually surprised JB's still not in the lobby playing that game.
You know, at the end, they didn't even add up the score. They just said, you won.
When I went up to JB to say hi, the look of disappointment on his face, it will live with me forever.
That's just my normal face.
I think as I'm about to transition out of this world on my deathbed, the last memory that'll flash before my eyes is JB's look of disappointment when he saw me. Sounds about right.
Was it disappointment or disgust?
I am just putting out what the look on my father's face. When you
had a father?
It was the look that you associate with love, even if it's not. Got it.
Wait, who said anything about love?
I said you associate, not that it was. It was just.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
What is love?
I will have to say, as Eman joins the room, we said at the top of the show, but again, phenomenal piece there, Eman, that you put out on YouTube about comics curing cancer. Thank you so much for such a wonderful piece. We appreciate it greatly.
Dude, it was amazing.
And if anybody's curious about what it is, you can either go to YouTube and check it out, or you can check out our story on Instagram and a link to it, or you can go. We pinned it on our Facebook page. By all means, if you still have a Facebook, even if you don't use it much, by all means, find Comics Curing Cancer on Facebook. Give us a follow. Please help us to get that number growing a little bit too. So add a little bit of credibility to the page there, because there are some folks, especially comic book groups and whatnot, that are pretty much exclusively on Facebook that we're trying to grow to.
Well, big good morning to Brian.
Yeah,
Rob would be the only one I'd know. Rob is the resident drama man for the C3 team. What happened in Artist Alley, Rob?
I have no idea. I haven't paid attention.
As a panel full
what
of
I can
people
tell
who
you,
were at HeroesCon for the entire time.
only
Does
drama
anybody on
from
the panel
Artist
know
Alley
what's
I
going on?
have is that I got 15 out of 17 commissions. Done.
Yeah,
Anybody-
I didn't hear of any drama.
Same.
What? It had something to do with someone shaking a hand or something.
Brian, fill us in. What happened in Artist Alley that was
Shane Davis, Dan Fraga stuff. No idea, sir. We didn't hear any of that.
Didn't hear anything about that.
But we were only there the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
maybe
a
that's
big
just
floor.
it's just not our circle. It's a big floor, but that was just like at New York Comic Con in October with the whole Peach stuff with the McFarlane signed Spawn book, the Peach cover, where
The
there
fight
might
in
have
the
been
line.
there wasn't a fight. There might have been like some voices raised and stuff like that, but then
Yeah,
by the
Durf
time-
was literally standing there and talked about how it got overblown big time. It was like a little back and forth.
yeah, and then there's fighting, people throwing blows,
Almost
and none of
getting
that stuff.
into a fight isn't drama.
Yeah, that was just New Yorkers being New Yorkers.
Yeah, I feel you. I guess it was too isolated, Brian. It might have been some words back and forth to people, but it was so minuscule that it didn't turn into gossip that traveled the con floor even.
Yeah, and for example, like the thing at the McFarlane signing in New York, that traveled everywhere.
Everywhere. Word was out immediately.
Yeah, that traveled.
The artists are dramatic.
And
My favorite one was the person that pooped in New York, and it turned out to be a dog.
Yeah, that made its way around the entire con in like an hour. Like everybody was talking
Instantly, yeah. Heroes. I
Shane
guess it was. Guess it must have just been. They might. I guess they resolved it too quick, or either people just didn't care. I don't know. That's one good thing about Heroes, man.
Or at least we didn't hear.
Yeah, well, it ain't just us. I mean, I don't care about half the stuff when we hear about.
50 videos on YouTube about it. Wow.
I've been searching HeroesCon videos all week long, just kind of looking at people's footage and stuff and watching. That sucks that I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I'm actually like I'll look at you guys stuff, but I'm trying to stay away from watching any HeroesCon footage until I'm done with my video. But I'm saving everything, so I'm putting it in a queue or a playlist so I could go back and watch it because I don't want any influence on my video.
Let's see.
Smart.
Yeah, you just photobombed the end of my video, DJ.
That
which
was
actually
awesome.
was perfect. That was like so perfect because you just see DJ's head just pop out of nowhere. You don't see his body or anything like that.
All right, for context, I just searched on YouTube
Clifford.
Fight HeroesCon specifically, and BJ Kicks came up first for your guide to HeroesCon. Then E-Man's video came up for Comics Curing Cancer. Then a vlog and pickups came up for Knoxville Collector. Then Comic Vet came up. Then Gino Talks Comics. What am I hunting? Then Heroinberg from I guess that's Martin's stuff. So I'm scrolling. I haven't seen the first one.
Hey,
talking
doesn't
about
mean it didn't happen. I'd love to have him come on and join us and tell us all about it.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying in
I
terms
just
of the
got
search,
here.
the search algorithm.
I love you.
Clifford.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, all you lovely
Brian, shoot,
people.
DM me a link, buddy. Because I legit want to see. I like drama as much as the next guy, I guess. Unless people are just
Stop
chit
it.
chatting
What-
about it.
Why
on
did
live
I
streams
got
or
I
something.
got here just to talk regular nonsense, and y'all are just like I
ahead.
want to talk about con drama.
No, spit that shit, dog. Spit that shit.
Yeah, you know,
we got a big screen clip. So the question for today: what was your favorite pickup? Not necessarily your biggest book or anything, just your favorite pickup. The number one.
It was his pickup of Vogs.
It was my pickup of Vogs, and we had to film that like 4 times. You know. Oh wait, is that me picking up DJ? Oh, you know what? DJ and Mrs. Lynx are my favorite pickups. They are true. They are true.
Just a.
Wow.
You know, look at Cuppy and Izzy in the background. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
So
perfect.
Mrs. Lynx, she's filming it in the background, so I have the full video, and I'm like legit maybe 1.5 feet off the ground, and Cliff is somebody says swing him, and Cliff starts swinging me, and my legs are like ah.
I love it. I love it. It warms my heart. The hugs were the best part of the weekend. You know?
Debatable.
Disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Oh. Well, of course
You didn't get a hug. That's why.
Justin thought the sex was the best.
Nice.
My lack of sex that weekend was phenomenal. I mean, there's like feeling barren, and then there's like feeling barren at the edge of the bottom of a pit in a desert. And it was that level.
Wow.
You know, I will say this, Nick, you were much more attractive in person, so good on you.
Because you look like shit online. He's
how you look on TV or whatever.
Idiot chud.
Nick, you look terrible online.
Yeah, Justin from This Just In, by the way, hi, thanks for the message last night. He's like, how did you get a Not Near Mint? And I'm like, dude, I'm working my ass out here. That's how I'm doing.
Working or spelling?
Figuratively speaking.
Figuratively. Although someone had the nerve to make a comment about something that I didn't know on the channel last night, because you know me, I'll talk about things that I suspect, right? But no, what I suspect was my lack of knowledge. So anyhow, I wrote a really nice response because this person is actually a real viewer. But I had a troll show up and be like, ban him from this channel. You know, I was like, there's someone out there who just keeps coming for me, talking about like, you know, get his zesty behind off here. You know, it's always the same thing. Some dude with an account that's 15 years old that has 1 subscriber. Yes, DJ Lynx.
Is it the dad from American Beauty who was closeted and he was taking out all his rage on Kevin Spacey? You think that dude has the same kind of vibes? You've seen American Beauty, right?
Of course I've seen American Beauty. I have a friend who still yells at me because I forced her to watch that movie in the movie theater rather than going to see Leonardo DiCaprio on the beach.
Oh, the beach was good. The beach was
So
good.
American Beauty is better than that.
American Beauty is like an American classic now. The
I
Beach
saw
is
An Oscar award-winning movie.
I saw American Beauty on Thanksgiving. I got into an argument at Thanksgiving dinner and I left and went to go see American Beauty.
So about the troll that's chasing you around, what was your favorite pickup from HeroesCon? Not necessarily your most expensive one, but your favorite one.
No, my favorite pickup is gonna be Amazing Spider-Man 149. You know, because I wasn't looking for it, you know, and the guy was easy to negotiate with, you know, and then of course as Izzy will tell you, he had to explain to me the 1,500 different types of dealers and retailers throughout the trip. Nick has my sticker, thank you. You know, and then to make it worse, after I heard Izzy talk about the different dealings and wheelings for 5 million hours over the weekend, then somewhere in the middle of the night at the hotel in the lobby, Dave is hanging out with this dude who's clearly a dealer, but we don't know this because Cuppy is so drunk. Cuppy thinks that this man is Brian Stillfreeze.
Yo, he had us rethinking about who it was.
Right.
You're like, what? Maybe
They
it was.
had a moment like we did at breakfast. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then this guy, and yo, as soon as y'all left me and Taylor Winder alone at breakfast, who walks in for breakfast? It's freaking Daniel. You know?
Oh, Daniel.
No.
Yeah, but of course he doesn't acknowledge us. We're nobody to him.
Oh, Sticky?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sticky Daniel. And so
Daniel.
he just like walks through and he goes to have his breakfast and Taylor and I just crack jokes where I can't believe how many times I had a random encounter with that man this weekend. And like I really just wanted to do something disruptive, like give him a hug. But I was like,
Cliff, a new series coming to YouTube.
yeah, but if you look at Daniel's last video, Cuppy and I are in it. You know, but in real life, Cuppy and I are like, yo, check this dude out. And then like we're talking about him as we walk past him, and then that guy in the booth yells out for him. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I was like, I behaved myself, you know. I really want to just do a whole thing where like I hug him and tell him you need more love in your life or something like that. But then I feel like it would just be like a wasted effort. And speaking of wasted efforts, Justin Birch, I'm still waiting for that meatball sandwich. You know, but I love you. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, I'm renting out rooms for an hour.
I was owed a meatball sandwich.
I tell you what, HeroesCon is over, and I did not get you guys meatball sandwiches. So, if you DM me your favorite local restaurant where you can get a meatball sandwich, I'll send you some. Well, I guess if you just send me your PayPal information, I'll just send you $10.
To go get said meatball
That's not
sandwich?
that. No, I don't want just $10. I was looking forward to
That's not a meatball sandwich.
I want you to mail us the sandwich.
It's a mini sandwich. That's a half a sandwich right there.
It's got $15, I would imagine.
You know what, Justin? I guess I'll just have to put it on the table for next year.
I wanted the experience of sharing a meatball sandwich by your side.
What condition was that Amazing Spider-Man 149 in?
Speaking of which, on that note,
I thought you were going to say, what condition was the meatball sandwich?
No,
it's Romanian time.
Is it graded?
Later
on. Romania.
Take it easy, Rob.
Let me get that meatball sandwich in a 9.4 is crazy.
No, the 7.75 for a 7.5 was quite fair. And then, of course, as soon as I got home, Go Collect is like, hey, one just sold on eBay for $65. And I'm like, rub it in my face some more, Go Collect. You know?
Sorry about that. It's a hard copy, but I got for my birthday a few years ago from my father, and my uncle got me, was not planned, got me 150.
That's amazing.
Out of pure coincidence.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
But 150 is like, I think like a 1.0. I didn't get any of them graded. It's like the cover is completely off of it. I just hold it together, put it in the Mylar, and act like it's in good condition.
Nice.
As is the right thing to do. Same thing with getting trash. As long as the cover looks like it's actually attached once it's encased, who cares if it's a 0.5? It presents well.
Right.
Go ahead, handsome Nick.
Cliff at any one point in time, it had at least 60 books in that bag of his.
Cliff had a lot of books.
When you say it presents well, that's kind of like saying like she's got a good personality, isn't it?
Oh shit!
Hey, you know what? Look, a broken clock is right twice a day. You know.
Yeah.
You can put lipstick on a pig, you know, and it's still a pig. But let me tell you, once in a while, that's a good-looking pig.
Someone once told me I present well, so I'm offended by that.
How well is this present?
Cover looks good.
Let's wrap Justin in Mylar.
Mylar always just makes it look better.
Compare it to 149.
Yeah, you're a solid 8.0.
Go ahead, JB. Let's hear it.
Yes, let's wrap me in Mylar, but I request that Mark does it while wearing your glasses.
Oh, that's terrible.
Straight Dexter mode.
Let's Dexter this bitch.
No, there's nothing Dexter. Mark, you are such a Dahmer. It is insane.
You are such a Dahmer. It is.
Yeah, no, it is
that's literally what I was going for. And what's funny is when I did this, I said, hey, DJ, this is exactly how you look when you wear these. You just don't know this is how you look when you wear these.
And that's when I was just like, I'm hungry. Let's grab some pork chops.
I've been teasing DJ for a better part of 2 years now about those glasses.
More than that.
Yeah.
No,
so I'm sitting in this chair waiting on all these cameras to get set up, and I look to my left and I see those glasses. I'm like, oh, I see an opening. Like,
Speaking of Dahmer, did anybody read the graphic novel that was written by someone who went to high school with him, was friends with him in high school?
No,
what's it called?
I didn't see Dahmer though.
I have no idea. I don't have it on me. I don't know where I left it, but it's called My Friend Dahmer, and it's written by someone who was a friend of his back in high school.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I saw Dahmer in the courtroom because I was in mock trial at the time in Milwaukee.
Really?
House. So I got to see the back of his head. It was really exciting. So
Oh
I was in the
my.
same room with the serial killer. I could see that.
Oh snap! I shared a cell with him.
No, you didn't.
I thought you shared a Filipino with him.
Oh shit! Imagine that being like,
No, this is starting to go the wrong way now.
You know, there had to be somebody that.
Oh my god!
I don't know where this is going now.
No, that Dahmer invited, like, no murder or anything like that. Nick, that was hilarious. But that Dahmer invited over for dinner and sat down with somebody and just had a meal, and then they just went their separate ways. Like after the news came out, that person had to be like, "Oh shit, I just fucking like ate a knee or something."
Yeah.
Did we eat Granny?
It wasn't Granny. Let's see, people. But that picture of Mark has to go on a shirt for sure.
I feel like maybe we could let's just pass on that one.
It's Mark.
So
I
going
expect
back
you to buy
to,
and wear the shirt. You need to support Taylor Winder. Support your friends, Cliff. Buy the shirt.
Oh, Taylor, are you making the shirts?
Taylor's making the shirt. Taylor has his own shirt company.
No, I know. We had a whole talk about it over the weekend.
Then support him.
Taylor was making the shirts.
Support him. Buy the Dahmer shirt.
He doesn't mean let's eat people in the literal way. It's like,
Not the
hey,
cannibalistic way in the
let's
happy
eat
way.
people, baby.
Oh
like
my
that.
God!
Like
Oh my
yeah,
God! No,
yeah.
I found. Oh no, DJ! I found somebody. I found a match. I found a serial killer match for you.
For me?
Yeah, like he doesn't look like you, but like.
So how's that a match?
Let Madam do the makeup and you got the glasses and we have a match.
Let's see.
He does have the glasses.
Share your screen. Angel
share my screen.
Maturino
Angel Ramirez.
That guy.
Resendez.
He's
Share the
about to
screen.
Be like
Strangle.
Doña Bicicleta or something like that.
Share the screen. Bring it up. I want to see if
Bring him up.
Yay, Slick Jolly. Thanks for picking that up.
All right, he's got the obligatory 3 names like all serial killer names.
Yeah, got to.
You know what's
Well,
funny?
what's Jeffrey Dahmer's middle name?
Cliff.
James.
James? Damn, girl
Jeffrey
is like
James Dahmer?
Jeffrey
It's
James
Lionel.
Dahmer. I made that up. I don't really know.
It's Lionel.
It's Jeffrey Cliff
For anyone
Dahmer.
who cares, by the way.
Jeffrey Cliff Dahmer.
Well, I guess all the infamous assassins all get 3 names. You know, John Wilkes Booth or whatever, and
Hi, Kyle.
you know.
I'm afraid
Hey,
since I don't have a middle name, I'm gonna be assigned a middle name. What up, Kyle?
What up, Kyle?
Kyle's the big winner from our CGC booth adventure.
It was exciting. I'm excited about it.
So
I
Kyle,
was excited for you. I was really sure. I was so sure it was going to be you or Lady Lynx. I really was sure.
The highlight of the con for me was seeing headlights and wondering if I was gonna make it alive.
Seeing what?
Oh, stop it. That was 5:45 in the morning. There was barely anyone on the road. The GPS was trying to kill us. You know, I don't even think that was the worst thing that happened. I think the we're not allowed to park situation was the worst. Was the best of the worst highlights.
Where we couldn't find a parking spot.
Of course, nothing beats Madam saying no. Nothing beats Lady F going no, Cliff. It's fine. Fine. Use our bathroom, Cliff. It's okay. Everything. You gotta go. Just get in there. It's fine. You know. And then I come out, and after destroying it and then shampooing it, you know, finding Madam devastated, dressed as the White Queen, you know, and Lady F, freaking Caroline can't breathe. She's laughing out the window. She was like,
And I got like 5 feet from the bathroom, and I'm like, someone's got to go in there and get my makeup. I'm not done.
all right. So who was the first one to go in and get your makeup?
I think Lady F went in, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she did. I was number 2. I was the second one to go in there for the makeup, but she was the first. A real pro would have used conditioner too, but then she would have been sliding up the toilet for the rest of the weekend.
That was like when we went to that biscuit place.
Biscuitville.
Remember that place? Oh,
Biscuitville. Heather.
I think that incident is just going to go down in my history, in my mind. Like that's the one thing I'm going to remember from HeroesCon.
I mean, it's certainly going to be one thing.
I feel like it's fun to me.
It clearly is only funnier for those of us who were there. Like, you know, I think it was like funny for like maybe an afternoon, but like now, like the joke is just like you laugh, I laugh, Caroline laughs, and everybody else looks at their phone.
Okay. Yeah. You guys can just imagine Cliff shampooing a toilet bowl with his hands, frantically because in the bathroom. That's what happened.
That's crazy.
And then afterwards, he'd come up to us and be like, "Smell my hands." No, really, smell my hands.
Well, you can go to Cup of Comics live selection on his YouTube, and you can see me attack him like, "Smell the fingers, Will. It's real," and he smelled like white tea shampoo.
Wow. He left the toilet with a nice, refreshing glow.
Wasted comedic gold. Comedic gold.
I am going to go to work now.
No. Yeah. Sorry, we had to end it that way.
You sure you're not going to the bathroom?
Huh?
You're not going to the bathroom after that story?
I mean, I can.
I've never induced someone's bathroom usage from a story. I've made people vomit from a story, but that's it. That's like my pinnacle.
No. I have to run to the post office before I have a meeting at 11, so I'm gonna hop off now. So I don't have to go later on. It's supposed to rain. I don't want to go in the rain. I'm made of tissue and I'm soft.
Oh, bye, Nick.
Nick, you going somewhere?
Bye, Nick.
Where am I? Oh.
Bye, Nick.
I thought I heard Nick talking.
Yeah,
no,
Nick.
DJ is leaving.
Oh, DJ? Is DJ?
Oh shit.
What is happening?
Oh, DJ, I got the tickets, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Eman's backstage.
I hope you have a good time, sir. I'm out. Only Mark could let Eman in.
Only Mark can let you in, man.
But I'm gonna hop off. We love you guys. Peace out. Eman? In the mix tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check you later.
Oh no.
So, Cliff, how did you get on pneumatic condition? I didn't hear what you had said.
I said working my ass off, but no, I mean, I guess that is really it because thanks to appearing on Bo's channel, I was invited to be on Omnidog's channel, which then led to a second appearance on his channel, which led to me being part of his Discord group chat. And we all know I hate Discord because it just annoys me. But I'm in that chat, so I'm all up in there with all those folks. And everyone keeps inviting me to their channels, and I'm like, no, I don't have time for this. And then from there, Crisis was like, oh, I wanted to, like people are like, oh, Cliff has got to do an Evergreen stream. And Crisis is like, oh, yeah, you have to do Evergreen, especially Superman, because everybody knows I love Superman in that group, thank God. So then I get invited for the Evergreen, and that's how I ended up. And of course, I get invited for the Evergreen, but I meet Near Mint at the con on Saturday. And I'm like, hey, and I'm like, I'm going to be on your show this week. He goes, yeah, you are, and his wife was really lovely.
Smell my hands.
No, Nick. We don't do that on first meetings. We don't do that on first meetings. I don't unless it's one of those foot in the grave situations. Like I hold back, believe it or not. Unless of course, it's Chris Evans. Then I'm like, I got very little time. I'm like, oh my God, you are America's ass. Quick, let's get a picture. And I'm like, where's your brother Scott, the gay one? Let me see what he's doing. And then, which by the way, I randomly met Scott twice, and that's like freaking hilarious.
Randomly.
One time, my mutual acquaintance Devin during Pride weekend was like trying to get into this club. I'm trying to meet my friend in the club. And in the meantime, I'm like, I'm having like a whole moment. Like, why can't we get into this club? This is so stupid. I can't believe it. It's like a movie. And then
was it the Pink Pony Club?
I wish it wasn't even like that exciting, And but then Scott Evans shows up in half drag, gold lame outfit, And it's like, yo, I know this. It's like, yo, I know these dudes. Just let them in. And then that was it. We were in, and I was like, what the hell just happened? But like, that's like my favorite, like Scott Evans, like side note story.
Wow.
Hey, Mark, Eman's in the back trying to get in.
Yeah, she's knocking on the door.
Cliff meets a lot of celebrities.
Good morning.
But you know, I was
hello.
You know, they opened doors.
All right, real quick, everyone pause for the cause. All right, E-Man, your favorite pickup from the weekend, not the most expensive, just your favorite thing that you ended up coming home with, whether you planned on it or not. Just
Well, I mean, duh, right?
Good man.
I mean, duh. It's got to be that one right there. Actually, I picked this up for a buddy of mine. He's like, "Hey, are you still there?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I need you to pick this up." So I got this for him.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
And but hold on, I'll show you guys this. So I don't know if any of you guys know, but I have this jam piece, this Void Rivals jam piece that I started a while back. I got a bunch of like, remarks and stuff on it. So I went to these artists here at HeroesCon, like a bunch of indie artists. I'm like, I like your art. Would you mind doing a remark for me? And they go, what's a remark? I'm like, oh man, it's just a little doodle, just in your style. And they go, okay, sure, $40. I'm like, okay, just leave room for other people to draw on. And they go, okay. They didn't leave room. I'm gonna have to go with this one right here.
Awesome.
Well, there's funny that he didn't know what a remark was, but
is the top one Irene or the bottom one?
The top one's Irene. The bottom one is
amazing.
Tsukeshi Ray. And then I saw another artist and I was like, could you do the same? She's like, yeah, but how much? What's a remark? All three of them asked. And so then she did that one right there. So these were like $40 a piece.
That's Gundam style right there.
Yeah. I told her, she's like, well, there's so many different versions of Jetfire. Which one do you want? I was like, what'll be funny is if you do the Macross version. She's like, okay, go, I'll do it. And so like each one of those were $40. This was $500.
Sweet Mary and Joseph.
Who was that for?
This is for Lawrence Lee, the comic capsule guy. Oh, hold on. I shouldn't show that.
Was it something he had set up ahead of time?
No. He saw it like online and he's like, hey, I need that one right there. So he saw this and he's like, could you get it for me? So I went and picked it up for him. So this is a straight up, DWJ. And then another thing that I ended up getting, speaking of DWJ, I got my Transformers 1 remarked and signed by DWJ.
Awesome.
Nice. So hearing all the stories about people waiting for DWJ, I'm like 2 hours. I'm like, I don't want to spend 2 hours at the con waiting for someone. I'm like, that's the guy that I want to go see. But you know what? I can't wait. It'll take away from my con experience. And this was on Saturday because I heard TJ was waiting for like 2 hours for DWJ on Saturday. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I was first in line. I waited like an hour and change.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so I was going around the con and I was in that area. And then I looked up and there was a short line for someone. And I looked at the end. I'm like, holy shit, that's Daniel Warren Johnson. That line is not long. I actually had time to go back to the hotel, drop off some stuff, pick up a couple of books, go right back to his line. I waited 5 minutes to get a signature. And I was like, dude, that was dope. And then I looked at the remarks. I'm like, you know what? I have not blown my budget yet. And I was like, no, fuck this. Oh, screw it. Sorry. Screw it. So I went right back around in line. I waited another 5 minutes and I got a remark and another signature. I'm like, I'm happy. I'm so happy. So I got my Transformers 1 signed, and then I got the Transformers 19, the one that has my letter in the back. I got this one signed. I'm like, I need this one signed. It's stupid. It's a stupid idea, but this is mine. So I got this one signed by DWJ. My pickups were not like, I didn't go to this con to pick up comics at all. I went to this con to maybe get some stuff signed, definitely meet the C3 guys. But for me, it was all about the social aspect of this con. It was all about meeting you guys. Like, you guys were like the most important thing to me when it came down to this con. Like I can get a lot of these comics if I can afford it here. Going there, digging for comics, that's not my thing. Going there to see you guys, hugging Cliff, saying what's up to Mark, hugging Madam, everyone that was there. That was the most important thing to me. So that's my con experience. And I had that just like the greatest time ever.
I completely concur with that. That I wouldn't for solely just for social purposes only.
It was.
I didn't have an agenda at all.
Yeah, I did. No, hold on. I had an agenda. I had the, like Caroline saw it. I had this book literally full of notes. Saturday, I'm going to do this. Friday, I'm going to do this. When I land, I'm going to go meet so and so. I had this whole like manifesto set up. The moment I walked into the con, it was thrown out the window. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to accomplish anything on here.
That's the way it goes.
Planned, yeah.
You can't plan for some of this stuff. You just gotta like, I'd like to do this, that. Just hit it, look, and move. And kind of got to take the path of least resistance, kind of thing.
Exactly. Friday night, I was like, I don't want to film. I don't want to do anything with the camera. I just want to go meet people and get the lay of the land. And that's what I did. I was really focused and kept my my camera in my pocket and not take it out and take pictures and whatnot. But man, just looking at that con, I'm like, this is big. 280,000 square feet of pure comics. 50,000 people there. That's a lot. That's really big. Definitely not San Diego big, but still freaking massive. But the cool thing about the con that I really enjoyed, other than the social aspect, is the low energy, the focus, and the organization. This is the most focused and organized con I've ever been to, and I appreciated that 100%.
I'm glad you had such a great experience. Got to be the drum a bit. It's once you go, it's easy to understand. But if you haven't been, like, hearing it explained to you is one thing. And people say all the time, like, this con that I went to was fun, but it's more of a pop culture con. But until you've been to HeroesCon, you don't realize how big of a difference that actually is and what it actually looks like. And I've listened to numerous people that have been to Terrificon a bunch and this and that. They were even shocked with their experience of HeroesCon, because HeroesCon is like hailed as a great comic convention as well for comic books. And they're like, dude, I've never seen anything like HeroesCon when it came to comic books.
Me neither. But listening to a lot of people who have actually been to San Diego when it first started, a lot of these original Comic Cons, and have seen its evolution, they are happy that HeroesCon has still kept that same format. Comic books, artists, fans, period. And again, low energy, but that's not a bad thing. Saying low energy doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Low energy just means that you have room to do what you want to do.
Yeah, you're not elbow to elbow with some
exactly
crowd of people, and it wasn't loud or anything. And
no, it wasn't. If anything, I felt bad because I think I saw 3 people. I'm a naturally loud person, so when I saw Cliff, he was like 30 feet away. And I walked right behind him, and I tried to photobomb a picture of him, but then like seeing Cliff and I yelled Cliff, it carried throughout the con. I did that with Cliff, I did that with Jigs, and I did that with Vogs, just naturally Vogs, and it carried Vogs. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm really loud.
I did that a lot Friday morning when I had to stand on the peasants line, which thank God, Digger Jim and Brother John were there with me. I will release my video sometime this weekend. HeroesCon, the poor and the foolish. Look forward to that. And
did you come up with a title?
Yeah, I decided that's the title. I feel like it just makes the most sense.
Poor and the
foolish.
That is hilarious.
And if I have an extended title, it would be like the poor and the foolish. The true layman's guide to HeroesCon. And so anyhow, I'm just yelling out for people like all the time, and they just come running over. So that was it. I was just like screaming, and they were coming over, and I was like, Boggs cut the line. He's like, oh, do you think it would? I was like, Boggs, if you just keep not talking about how I let you cut the line, no one will care.
Yeah.
And then Jim and John are fabulous, and it's so funny because I started the show experience with them, right? And we ended the show experience by running into them at a random Hardee's somewhere in Virginia.
Yep, where was it though? That had to be like
Virginia.
An hour and a half away.
Yeah. Wow. An hour and a half after the show is all done and we've left, we run into them randomly at a Hardee's.
And they were by themselves. It was just them.
I mean, Austin LeMay by yelling and screaming out for him, and like I felt so bad for the people next to me online. Also, it was a treat that my friend Chris and his girlfriend Maria, who actually works in my company, they were there, and I thought that was really nice that I like ran into some folks from home at the show.
Did you tell them about the white tea shampoo?
Yes, on that note,
they'll hear all about that later.
Before that story
Oh,
goes
by
up,
the way, Eman, I gotta give you love for that video you put out, dude. That's cinematic. Like, I gotta give it to you. That video was like,
thank you.
Well, look at this guy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm about to make like a baby and head out. We got some errands to run. We got a birthday party to go to tonight.
Okay.
So
Did you wear this to church?
later, Cliff. Back to work for him. But yeah, I appreciate everybody hopping on and kicking it and chilling it. Want any of y'all feel free to kick up a stream and just move the party over there. But time to go toy hunting for a birthday present and myself.
And a Superman figure?
Yeah, we're on the hunt for these Superman movie figures. It's fun hunting them in the wild. They didn't have any of them at HeroesCon. They're too new, but they did have a lot of platinum figures. I ended up scoring a good one. But yeah, everybody have a great afternoon. See y'all tonight on In the Mix. And peace.
Mommy, come on.